are moving into an age of man. Finally boil it all down. Magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. Excuse me. What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. And I'm joined by my etheric translator, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
And by Space Jesus / Space Buddha, Aaron Kessler.
What up, fam?
Expanded understandings in the house.
Put the fan on.
No, you put the fan on. I'm done putting the fan on. I don't listen to anyone anymore. We're out of here. It's a rebellion. Let's rock. Just kidding. I'll put the fan on.
Okay.
Sorry, so much crazy is happening lately. What's up, everybody? Big shout outs to everyone. Wait, you know what? Big shout outs to everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. Thanks for thinking of us. It's the new year. We are rocking and rolling. And as you can tell, the shit don't stop. It has hit the fan in 25 different fucking directions at least. And where is your focus? And what are you doing? Well, Aaron showed up today. Supposed to be here yesterday. And came on in, doing a little soul journey in yourself. Awesome. Bringing it back around, closing the loop of the last time you've been here. Awesome. And now this fucking thing's too high for me. Sorry, I'm short. I got to sit up close so I could look as big as him.
You're taller than me in camera. It's fantastic.
Hi, everyone.
Cinema magic. Paula still looks short, regardless.
Oh, I see how it's going to be. I see the two of you.
Listen, Paula made some amazing pasta tonight. So start with compliments, Frank. We're going to give her shit. Paula made some amazing pasta. And manicotti, it was manicotti, right? Cheese? Ricotta. Was on the side that you can put on top. I've never had that before. That's the fanciest. Really? Yeah.
That shit is awesome.
Look, I had the cheese, but I never like put it on like as a separate thing. It's like a baked in or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's super good.
That's really good, right?
Thank
super
you.
good.
It's
really
like
good.
crack sometimes.
Listen, more than that, the pasta itself, the right texture and consistency.
Thank you.
It's all of it's perfect.
The texture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am a good seasoner. Thank you.
We are so excited to start this night off correctly. We had a great meal. We had some great conversations. You took a nap, chilled out, right?
With the cats. Yep. It's great.
With the cats.
Yeah. Oscar took a nap with Aaron. I don't think Oscar realized it was Aaron in the bed, but he took a whole nap and then he got freaked out after. But the whole time he was there. And Sugar Pop was with you, right?
Is that I thought it was the other one, but yeah, the creamy white one. She came and laid on my chest for a minute.
Yeah, she's like a
That's
little
really sweet.
ball.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so since the new year, even the cats have been doing crazy, amazing things that were a little unexpected. Those coming out of their shells really came out of their shells. Those that were out of the shell, but was a little hesitant to do things like lay on your lap or come over to you and be like, hey, what's up? Let's hang out. Are now just aggressively rolling up on you going, hey, I want to hang out with
I want to play.
Like there's one right there. Look what she said.
What is that? Oh, that's Shway.
We are surrounded and awesome. And we are truly, I want to say, what's another word for blessed?
Grateful.
Thank you. I'm truly grateful to be in the position I'm in. if I could say, is there anything actually wrong with your life outside
of the normal
outside
shit.
of just having the pain in my
The
neck?
normal shit.
It's really actually good.
Yeah.
Considering what my life has been.
Yeah.
How about you? How your life has been?
Well, just over time. I mean, seeing implementing small changes over time. So over time, you'll have a linear progression, right? But if you zoom way in, that shit can be all over the place, up and down, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, like
Right.
just all over that shit. And so just seeing over time, implementing small changes where my life is more streamlined and autonomous and functioning within the vortex of the things that I want to create that actually bring joy to my life on a regular basis.
Where are you from 2 years ago when we met? Was it 2 years or 3?
Almost 2.
Okay.
I think
no, it's 2 years.
March of this year. So we 2 years. Yeah.
Much further ahead. Much better place.
Dude,
You don't have to tell the story.
It's 2 years?
So much.
No, you don't have to tell the story. It's a full 2 years?
Oh, 1 year and 9 months so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was when I reached out to you
Mhm.
because I heard your stuff the year before, I think the May before or something, and just went through everything you'd ever done in all the shows and everything in a weekend, just on double speed and tune in and everything. Just we were telling the guy out there today that we ran into that I knew then, just everything settled in that, dude, we just know each other and we're definitely gonna see each other and hang out and do stuff in the
We're
future.
creating the spider web.
Oh,
The new-
Ellen, this is for you. Guess who showed up at the house today? Sal.
Oh,
Sal.
every time. Okay, there's something we
what
gotta
we're talking
say.
about. That's the guy.
Every time someone
Oh,
that has
sorry, I'm
anything to
sorry.
do with Fearless Family, literally in house, the local neighborhood guys that
It's like they just smell it
did
in the
do
air.
the ayahuasca or
They
did
just-
the
They
DMT
just come over.
show up at my house.
Yeah, just to say
And
hi.
Sal, shout outs if you're listening. It's always Sal.
Yeah.
And
Every time Ellen's here, it's
so I
always
didn't get
Sal.
a chance to fully tell you. So he was having an experience, the eye experience. We had a couple of people over. We told the show we had Shaman Gina here, so it was like one shaman
Yeah.
for each kid that was here.
Yeah.
And they all wanted to drink as friends, and then Shui, right, started dying over and over and over and
Right.
over. And Sal just gets up. These are young kids. He's 21-year-olds, right? Gets up and just sits with them, and he's like, "Whoa!" So we all
Yeah,
kind of gain
comforting,
around
yeah.
him, and he puts his hand on his heart, his friend's heart, and he goes, "This is my best friend in the whole world. It'll be okay." And we're Bronx kids, so this was weird, right? So then he puts his hand on his heart, and we all surround him and put our hands on him, and then he, I think I died, and we were like, "Yeah!" Like we bugged out. Then we ran outside. We all went out onto the lawn. You went to pick up Josh.
Yeah. And that's when
Josh
the
Carruthers, you the
UFOs?
magician?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the UFOs.
And then Josh is like, "I'm being followed." So we all went outside, like, "Oh, we're gonna fuck someone up, I guess, under ayahuasca. This is gonna be awkward." And then he pulls up, comes out of the car, and then we're like, "Well, who's following you?" And he's like, "No one's following. I'm being followed." We're like, "Who?" He goes, "Look up." Didn't see nothing for a minute.
Oh, and then I told you I
boom,
saw
boom.
it too at
I
the
was
train
like,
station.
whoa.
I was like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Get in the car. Like I was cooking. I had
Shout
food on
outs
the
to Willow.
Yeah.
But he was shamaning, so he couldn't go pick him up at the train station. So I had to go. I mean, in the train station's 10 minutes away. So I'm messaging him, telling him I'm coming to get you when you see me get in the car because we got to get back because there's a million things going on at the house.
Yeah.
Right. So he comes out of the train station. He's staring up at the sky, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy doing? He's got to get in the car." I'm going, "Josh, get in the car." And he's going, "Wait a minute, you just got to wait a minute." The UFOs are there, and I look up like, okay, you fucking UFOs. Like I already got ayahuasca going on at the house. I got them cooking on the stove. I got other people here. I forgot why so many people were here, and I'm like,
Well, Josh was sleeping over, and they were doing the day experience. That's how
right.
we were rocking with it.
And then the boys were here, so we made this lasting relationship with them. This was 2 years ago.
I'm telling you.
And every time Ellen comes, and now
No, it's anyone.
yeah,
that has to do
anyone
with ayahuasca.
I related. They
do it when
show
Della
up.
and Joe are here all the time.
I know, it's so strange.
They pull up, they're like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" I'm like,
We just came to say hi.
What's up?
It's so weird.
and they're like, "What's up, man? It's good to see you, bro."
Do
I'm
you
like, "This is
remember- Do
great."
you remember? So after this,
I'm sorry if I'm
experience-
yelling. I'm excited.
After they had their eye experience, they were very. They kept very close with Frank. They were keeping in contact with Frank because they wanted to like share their experiences. And me and Frank were here watching a movie one night, and they come by, and Frank, sees them outside or whatever. They're hanging out, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And Frank's like, "Oh, Paula's making popcorn. We're gonna watch a movie." And they're like, "Could we come in?" And I'm like, "Where do we draw the line, Frank? Now we're gonna have the neighborhood kids come in. Like, they're not kids.
Like
They're
cats.
like
Neighborhood
cats.
kids, like
Yeah,
cats.
but they're in their 20s. But it's like now we're gonna have the neighborhood kids come in really and watch TV with us. Like where does it end?
Dude, okay,
But-
so with the heart story part of that, where he put his hand on his heart, he said, "This is my friend."
Oh
and that whole
yeah,
thing.
this is my friend, and he protected him.
Yeah, it's interesting, like just that dynamic in interdimensional situations or whatever. There's last summer, not this summer, but the summer before, somebody else in the Fearless family. We were at their place doing DMT around the fire and having conversations and processing through different things that would just come up. And as we're just kind of talking about them or flowing into the fire or having like rhythmic conversations,
Absolutely.
yeah, where it's not like, yeah. So, but there was a point in there that there was this major, we're gonna call it demonic entity or intense energy that was coming up due to some stuff. And it was at the moment, like we were transmitting stuff in the fire, but this thing was extra heavy, right? And
That's
so
why you had the fire.
well, so it was at that point though I understood like to step in front of him, put my hand on his heart with my back to the fire, and I said, "This is where sometimes that we step in to help each other, to transmute and to help be a portal when it's too overwhelming for our nervous system or what we've been through or dynamics like that." And so I felt my back was ice cold while my hand was on his heart because it was just transmuting through me into the fire for a while until then my back started to warm up. Thank you. My back started to warm up, and then when I started to get hot, I knew it was over because it was done transmuting through.
Isn't that fucking amazing?
Yeah,
but
man.
you and I have done that. You did it before with me.
Yeah.
All right, you got to show them this massive banger. So
This was amazing.
he held this to my back before, right? And then right on the spot where it hurt, and something fucking jumped to the front of my face.
Sure.
The vibrations from this just forced it. It had no
I'm
chance.
sure you probably
I
had an
opened my
attachment
mouth.
there.
I was holding my head here. It fucking hurt so much. And then slowly, it just escaped and was gone. And I was like, I didn't know I had that. Although I have an Aya ceremony coming up soon. And I said to Aya when I was eating mushrooms, "Oh, I'm coming in. Mom, it's going to be good to see you." She's like, "You're not coming in with that." And I was like, "With what?" And I turned around and there was a lizard attached to me.
Mhm.
It looked like a stick. And then a lizard sitting on the stick. It
Because-
wasn't like a reptilian. It was just a lizard
Yeah.
thing.
Well, because you've been in a lot of pain recently.
Oh, and I was like, "Listen, man, you gotta fucking get out of here right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the place for you." He's like, "I don't know how I got here, but this place is great." I'm like, "This fucking thing's eating like a champ."
Great, isn't that what he
said?
said?
Yeah.
This place tastes
Tastes
great.
great.
Because he doesn't.
This is the sonic slider set from Biofield Tuning.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
So-
amazing. We're gonna have to get one.
Oh. If we
Holy
remember,
shit.
we'll put a link below after the show
Sure.
or in the
Gotta
comments.
Remind me.
Yeah, I don't need to. I'm
Wow,
standing here to remind us all.
that is intense. This sends a different vibration than
No, it does. I
than
hit it.
This one.
Aaron told me to hit it on my knee,
Mhm.
and then I put it on my forehead, and it was like I was in another
And-
dimension.
Key interesting dynamic to note. I had you do that while you're just talking about your day,
Oh yeah,
right?
and
And doing frustrating
Oh,
frustrating
yeah.
stuff during the day, but doing it
Totally.
while you're processing that. So
Sure.
you're realigning it in a different
Wow.
way.
This is great. I'm sorry. You feel that fucking
Yeah, no, you do.
vibration.
It
in
just
there,
shifts. Okay,
right?
so
we
it
should have had this
shifts.
yesterday.
Yeah,
So
no.
while we were waiting for you to arrive yesterday,
Yeah.
Frank reenacted killing me about 14 different ways in the apartment.
Fantastic.
He fake threw grenades at me.
We
Bum, I
used-
missed
wait,
it.
we
I
used-
missed that.
With the
Yeah.
dart in the neck.
Yeah, to trank
Yeah.
gun. Yeah. Then
the way to
he
helicopters.
fake dropped a bomb from a helicopter. Then he
The one
came
from
running
Rambo.
in and shot me with a Gatling gun. He didn't think I knew
No, I
what
flew
that
through the room
was.
sideways.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just sprayed the room.
I
and
think
took
he
out
tried to
everyone
get
that
me
was
with
there.
an arrow.
Oh fuck! The one I missed was the fucking.
Oh yeah, he wanted to get me. He wanted to blow me up like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. But
I found myself being like.
yes, it was very cute the way you were jumping in and out of the room. And
I
I'm just
felt
looking at
like a
him like,
little
who's making
kid.
breakfast tomorrow if I'm dead?
I ran
You
over
dummy.
to her and I put something on her,
Yeah.
and then I went like this. And
Yeah, yeah,
and I ran away and went.
yeah. Like
to
you
press the
just put
button.
explosives
She goes,
on
"Did you
me.
just blow me up?"
Yeah,
I'm like, ah.
yeah, could you just blow me up?
I don't know what was happening, but it felt childlike, and I've been
It really was.
no,
Very
I've been
childlike.
told to follow that
Yeah.
down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole,
man.
and it took me to these most ridiculous places for a 47-year-old guy to be. However, a lot of fun.
No doubt.
So
She just made that jump. She's amazing.
she is amazing.
Happy New Year, Els. Happy New Year's, everyone. It's great to see everyone.
It is, because it's been so horrible. And now it's good.
I know. A lot of people want me to talk about some of the stuff that's going on. Might not do that.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a...
Might just give like an opinion here
Let's
or there.
talk. Let's talk about the childlike thing you were just talking about. That's a fun conversation.
Yeah.
So like being
All
so
right.
what you guys described. So to summarize, an awesome reenactment of this time period. You had a prolonged
Joseph's
period
here.
of thoroughly using your imaginations,
Yeah.
while engaging with each
Yeah,
other
because-
and laughing hysterically and having a great time.
Because we got all of the adulting out of the way earlier. The house was clean before you came. Everything was done.
We went to
did
work
everything.
like doozers after Fraggles just wrecked the place.
Yeah.
It just rebuilt the whole thing.
Yeah.
And did it
Then they're celebrating.
Yeah, we just got it done.
non-stop. And then
Right.
we smoked some weed, played some music,
Yeah.
listened to some shit.
We
David
got-
Wilcox, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
You're laughing at his forehead.
So you don't
We
even
did all kinds of weird shit.
you don't even know. So
And
so
we're not
we get the
ripping. I just
call.
wanted to hear what was going on. But
You
we
must
have
have
to joke
messaged,
about
or you must have told him
having a
that
five
your
minute.
flight was delayed.
Mhm.
And I was like, "What do you mean he's not coming in?"
Sorry.
So we must have gotten word that you weren't coming
Yeah.
last night. So Frank's like, "What do we make for dinner?" So I said, "I'm really not hungry, but I have a hamburger prepared for you already from what I made the night before. I always keep one uncooked so he can eat it later on that night, but he didn't eat it. So I said, "There's chopped meat in there. You can have that." And he said,
Oh
"Well,
shit! I forgot what we did
oh,
last
yeah.
night. I don't-
so this
I
is
got
this,
so fucked
this
up, I
is
didn't
this is
remember.
what led to the fake killing Paula all night." So
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the
yeah.
child like playing with your imaginations
even
that
know.
made your life so much better, and you're so happy you did it.
So I said, "Look, you could cook that because I really don't want to eat anything." Oscar got back from the vet. His mouth is still all terrible. I mean, we're just checking on him every couple of hours to make sure he's still breathing, because he's like under the blankets and he won't move, and he's very uncomfortable. So I'm like a little bit of a nervous wreck also, because now I have to make sure he's,
Stress is high.
oh my God. So
Tension is high.
So Frank says, "You have
But
to
so
eat
am I."
something." So I said, "All right, we have
Some pie.
we have
Cake and pie.
two of you
Pie,
retarded.
cake and pie,
We
cake and
have
pie.
slider rolls in there. Why don't take the chopped meat and make me
Listen, I strongly advise this recipe.
make me one slider, one." And he's like, "One," and we're arguing. That's not enough food. And I'm like, "Please, if I get the slider down, I'll be happy," because I was so nerved up. So
You want the recipe for the slider?
right. So Frank says, "Hey, I'm going to use some of the wheat oil that we have for baking. That's how I'm going to prepare my hamburger."
I like to actually rub it on my palm and then rub it. Never mind.
Right. So because it gets bigger that way.
It does.
Yeah. So no,
No,
it
I'm just
doesn't.
kidding.
So,
Sometimes, man.
well,
Growing out a
depends.
shower.
So this is true. I didn't even think of that.
This is the thing.
Oh my God. So, oh my God, you just brought that to a whole different level.
Well,
So Frank's like, "This is what I'm going to do with my burger. Do you want me to make your burger the same way?" So I said, "Yeah, using the same pan, of course, make it the same way." I said, "Just don't kill me with the wheat
All right.
oil, because we have a busy day
I used a
tomorrow."
griddle, right? And then I fucking just, which was like a tablespoon or two.
Yeah, which was a lot.
it was for two people. But
One
then
and a
you throw
half.
listen, you get everything.
I
Nice,
know you
get the-
sauteed the
you
onions
get it
in
really
it too.
hot,
Okay.
right? You get the fucking thing hot, and then you throw your onions in, your oils in, everything's right. I throw some butter in.
You don't
I get
know.
weird because we're not eating
this
this
man
net
couldn't
like
cook an egg.
crazy.
This
all
is
the time.
amazing.
This was like
You do
just
well.
have fun with
Fix
this
them.
shit.
Yeah. No, well, you
So
wasn't
then I
broken.
throw. I let that cook for a
That's
few
how
minutes.
you
I
fix
have
it.
this top piece. It's
Yeah.
like a metal
That's it.
grill top, and I squishes everything down in the fucking pan. I just leave it on there. Get the onions going. I wait 5 minutes. I throw the burgers on. The oil seems to
Oh my
absorb
God.
directly into the burger. I'm watching it and I'm going,
It's
"Oh, this
just
is
going.
pretty fucking
It's
cool."
amazing.
But then I think the house is slanted because it always tilts a little.
It's a stove.
Yeah, it's so annoying. So I have to move it over. So I was like, new idea. Burgers are done. Take them out. Throw them down. Take the bread
Put the buns on
and
there.
put the buns on there.
So
there wasn't anything left.
that entire
in the pan.
teaspoon or such was completely
Fucking
absorbed
delicious.
by everything we ate.
However,
So I'm eating it and I'm like a mouse. and I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. It was the most delicious thing I've ever had. And
just one way to view the story is you took an excessive amount
weed oil
of drugs and then spent a long time imagining and play acting killing each other.
No. The killing was very
fantastic.
one-sided.
Continue.
I was just horrified.
It's only one-sided.
And sitting on the couch. The killing was all one-sided. It was him, not me. So
even worse.
So now,
watching him do it.
About 5 minutes after I finished eating,
but he broke my jaw.
My lips are numb, completely numb, and I'm like, Frank, my lips are numb.
Yeah, my fucking arms.
And he goes, that's happening to me too. That's so funny. I don't know why that's happening. I didn't use a lot of oil.
It's
now,
so delicious.
He just explained now that he used every ounce of oil that was in the pan.
Right,
he did not mention that last night.
The lighter it got, because you ate a little, even though it was small, it's like a little heavy, right? So start early.
Oh yeah. So we have to do this.
Started hitting me as the night was going.
Oh yeah, we have to. I stood up until midnight. At midnight I was up.
I closed my eyes in the bed, and when I opened them, I'm like, oh, thank God, it's got to be like 9 o'clock with everything. And it was 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And you were like, I woke up at 11. And I'm like, you just woke up.
I mean, I woke up earlier and opened all the windows.
Feel?
Amazing.
Okay, so
yeah, but I can't be down for 11 hours, Frank.
That's not the point of the story. The point of the story was we started loosening up.
That's not the point,
right? And it wasn't alcohol.
The point of the story was you took an excessive amount of drugs.
Yes.
And play acted killing each other. Actually, you acted.
Frank
always killing.
Frank acted on his own accord. I was just sitting on the couch in amazement. But that's why you got so playful. He was running from the rooms and sliding across the floor. And I know he was only doing this because he knew the floors were
okay, listen. This is a good moment to recognize and honor Lady Cannabis in her many forms.
Oh, absolutely.
So because it's an avenue,
question.
Especially the whole dynamic of we don't need drugs to do that. Well, yeah, that's cool, man. We can remember to do that every day as a couple or people you're with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Or it's an avenue to help get you to a place to remember how to be childlike. When you're in the middle of being busy or just shit going on, you guys unexpectedly, you're having a great time, but also you're concerned about the responsibilities of shit I can't sleep. But also thoroughly enjoying and disconnecting.
And my body felt great.
And he goes, I know we have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow.
She lives in pain.
Yeah.
So those not having to take pill moments or something is better than nothing. And it was fucking great. So it's not like it's okay. It's not like, oh yeah. No, it was fucking fun.
Yeah, people are like, how'd you like that THC oil? It's like, yeah, it was all right. Felt a little bit. No, you did not have enough THC oil.
You don't even know.
It's like you didn't take 30.
That dirty
you
mix.
didn't have any. Barely.
Oh my God, dude. You could just...
Totally different.
The bottle is gigantic.
So when we first made this stuff, I had to squeeze it and clean it. So I had it all over my hands. I went, ooh.
Going through your
right.
skin.
So then I went, my hands are kind of, it was wintertime too. I go, my hands are kind of dry right now. I rubbed it in. I got so fucking high. I was like, I think all I can hear is my heartbeat. And I can't feel my feet when they touch the floor. It was the weirdest thing.
But that's how my lips felt. My lips were numb last night.
Listen, let me give everyone listening hope who's not in a legal state yet.
Oh my goodness.
Here's something they do in Washington State. Because you have a limit, like 10 milligrams THC per edible or per square.
How do you even measure that
out?
If you don't, it's like a formula.
Yeah, it's a formula. So they know about how much goes in, but it's good to compare. So the problem is it's only 10 per, and I don't know about other people, but after the first or second time doing edibles at 23 milligrams, that's just it's almost irrelevant. It's got to be like 50 plus at least, just for very subtle.
See, for me, 10 is fine. 10 milligrams is fine.
Of THC?
Yes, of THC.
I can see that for you.
For me, because I'm a lightweight. Ellen brought these great, they're bonbons. I love them. I told her I tested
Wait, hold on. Let me finish the story.
Oh,
it's really interesting about the way they sell it.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The story with Ellen. No, it's great. I want to hear it all. It's great. So they sell these topical oil vials.
It's topical.
Too tiny. It's too hot.
Small?
Yeah. Nate turned me into a
There's
snob.
the other
Nate
one.
turned me
You
into
know
a total
what? You're
snob.
Fucking Nate, what
I'm
the
a
fuck?
puss.
The ass
I'm-
pen
whoa,
is
I'm a
great.
snob.
You take 2 hits.
I'm a weed snob, but I'm not.
Right.
All right, you're a
DMT land.
snob.
All right,
all
thanks.
right, all right.
Because
That-
listen,
that's
I
being
smoke.
a little
I'm the one
snobbish.
who talked to all of us to smoking DMT in a blunt. Come on.
I guess
Oh
I'll
yeah,
smoke
that's
it.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, you
Not
know what?
pussy.
I'm just
We're
gonna
having
shut
fun
up.
tonight.
Don't
I'm
call
gonna
me
shut
pussy,
up. All
Paula.
right, you know what? I take
Hurts
that
my
back.
feelings.
I take that back. You're not. You're a
You
snob.
got
Call me
pussy
pussy.
dissed in the fucking Bronx by a Paula?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. But
And
he,
she's a-
but
Listen, this next
no, no,
part.
no.
Listen to
But
this next part.
he clarified it.
Oh.
He
Oh.
explained.
And
so
then what?
so
Then Paul, what?
so he's a snob.
I apologize for calling you
I
pussy,
did.
but I
I
agree that I am a
apologize.
snob.
I did. I
Weed snob.
apologize for calling him a
It's just
pussy,
too
but he
hot.
is a
I can't.
snob.
Like, it's really hot on my mouth, and it's like almost burns my fingers. It's like it's not worth it.
Yeah, I know. And you're like twice my.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
Don't you use those hands for heating and refrigeration and stuff like that?
I do, and there's
You know, his
still
hat
fingers
is
attached because I know
No, I
when I'm done.
know. Oh, I see. I see.
Just
I
too
see.
hot,
All right,
just
so
too
you are a
It's more-
snob.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Well,
a
that's
snob.
because you live on the West Coast. You
Yeah,
can.
and
You
I've
can.
been my
He's hiding an
coworker
extra head behind there.
smoked his whole.
That's
He's
why
like the
he wears a
bubble
hat
gum.
like that.
Him and Frank get along. He's like the bubble gump of weed.
Anunnaki, it's a joke.
Oh, Aaron? I don't know. Oh, he should meet Della.
I was told
Della's
recently.
another- I
From
don't know.
behind, he's
Yeah,
got the
look-
extra skull.
I was told
Like the
recently it
Anunnaki.
looks like a mini Naki.
Like the
Some
mini
mini
Naki.
Naki.
It's like Baby Yoda, but not
Right there.
reptilian.
It's a tuba.
Right there.
I'm not a baby. what is that, Hellboy? I'm not a baby. I'm a tuba.
That's terrible.
I don't remember that one.
I can't. It's too
Well,
small
you
for
have
me.
the other one.
I see now.
Oh, is that one?
weed-
Does that one get?
See
Yeah.
what happens in the
Wait,
circle?
hold on. Slow your roll.
Why?
Everybody gets so worked up. There's plenty.
I'm just
Good.
really happy. There's more.
All right.
I had thought there was none. With
I got
made
nervous
observations,
too. I got all
and I
nervous.
got nobody knew. I didn't.
Now,
I didn't make a
all
stink
right,
about
the
it.
people
I
that
was
know
like, all right,
me
that's about all we have.
know
It's cool,
that
but we
I
don't.
never
Yeah.
smoked before I met Frank. I really didn't. Every now and then, if it was there, I would smoke it. But like, I never bought it. I never smoked it. Now it's like, Frank, and he's like, "What do you need?" And he's like, "I don't. I had to just make the face." And he goes, "Okay, hold on." And he
Hold
takes
on.
care of it.
Well, I look at it like this. It's the earth mother providing for us
Right.
actual medicine that works.
Right.
But it also does all this other shit.
Look,
All right, so my
you know
dad
what happened to you.
was
He's
just
been on.
talking and
He's been on
squirted
a
it in his
berry
mouth.
of pills
Never
because
got
of his
high
back,
before.
and you've been crazy.
Let me finish my story.
I'm
It reminds
sorry.
me. No, we all went on a trail and it was fantastic. All right.
Sorry.
This conversation really nourishes the girth of my mini Naki.
Della!
Oh my god! This
Wait,
poor
so-
man
sorry.
has been
There
trying
you go,
to
there you
talk.
go. Look, see, look,
for
look,
probably
just like in the Vatican, just like in the contents, just like in the documents and the photos.
Let him finish. He's been trying
Oh, yeah,
6 minutes
cool.
to
I
tell
forgot
this
to. I was
I
Right.
was
story.
showing.
So
Oh, you
they
were
sell these
showing-
vials
you
of
showing
a topical oil, and each vial is 100 milligrams THC. Like way more.
the whole vial.
The whole vial. So you have 400 milligrams THC
Right.
sold as a topical oil because they can't sell it as edible because they have a cap at 10 milligrams per
Right,
dose.
right.
So it's fantastic. So you can use it in cooking like you guys are doing.
Oh,
But-
so you do? You put it in cooking?
yeah, totally.
Oh.
The same thing. I had 200 milligrams the other night. Awesome. As I was going to bed. It's
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
too much, but it was too much.
No, I
It was
staged it one
wonderful.
or 300. No, 200 and 200.
Do you oversleep sometimes?
Oh fuck yeah! But I plan on it. I plan on letting my body go into that state, the
Because
brainwave
I-
state, the body state that I'm. That's
I
why I'm
rarely
taking it.
get rest like that.
Oh really? Your body stays
Like,
active.
I go out. I don't
He
even
went
know
out.
what the fuck's going on.
You don't
Right.
know how this man tortures me all the
It's so hard to sleep in two. My
We
neck
don't
is so
sleep in
bad,
the
I
same
sleep in
bed.
2-hour shifts.
We sleep
Like,
separate.
Turn.
Listen, I've said this before, but I say lots of random shit. But maybe this is the time it gets implemented, and maybe it makes a huge difference. But elevate your bed frame
You keep saying that the top of it.
at 6.18 degrees.
That's like no.
Yeah. So you just it's not.
Yeah,
but
so it's like that much,
if
right?
people have had like MS, if you go to inclinebedtherapy.com.
No,
I
we'll
think-
definitely do because I
Well,
have
just for
CP.
people out there for the
yeah.
concept or to expand on that
No, go ahead, go ahead.
understanding. But it's the ancient Egyptian beds that they had. They showed little feet pads at the end too, just for mats, and they were all at this incline as the Fibonacci sequence. And like anyway, it elaborates on there. But people from MS, I think, have been totally cured within months of just changing the bed angle because it's something the way the systems in your body flow with gravity.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we have to do it.
So it's a simple change. It's just
6.1
kind of
degrees.
I mean, that's you don't have to be super specific. I think it says on the website between 5 and 7. So you have to. There's even apps that give you the angle. So if you're if my bed's 84 inches long, how much do I have to raise it at the head to get this angle?
Yeah.
And then you can get the risers from like Amazon.com, the boosters, or books. I mean, really, whatever works. But yep,
we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that's all it took?
or other things get
because
better.
You said this the
but you
last
had no
time,
idea.
and we were like,
No, it's like, but dude, that's the reality we're in, man. Mass information everywhere, and I'm abundantly full of it. Anunnaki, right?
No, we're just talking about your head again.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
My mini Naki.
My mini Naki. That was it.
Right.
I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
You guys are so stupid.
It's so funny though.
This is so stupid.
All right, so look, check it out. Where's your focus been? What have you been doing? Look.
I've been doing some fucking shit.
I've been skull growing.
No, I've been busy.
We've all. You went through some highs and lows.
No, I
went
did.
through
It's all
some
right.
ridiculousness. However,
we were together.
Right. You went through some crazy.
Crazy.
Look where we're at.
Last 6 months, crazy.
It's wonderful now.
All right. Look what happened
I'm
the
so
other
happy
day.
right now.
All right. Look.
Aaron's here.
It's the weirdest thing. The other day we were watching on and I just make the mention of it so we could have fun with it.
Go ahead.
All right. So
go ahead. What were we watching?
I see a post on Facebook that says, "Check out Alex Jones live at the Capitol." Right?
Oh, we were.
I throw it on. I'm like, "Oh, look, Alex Jones. Right? Let's see what he's doing." And as
people are storming the Capitol, and I'm like, no.
We're watching it go down. We're getting really high, and I'm going, "What the fuck is going on?" The next time I look up at the TV, there's
like
a guy
4 hours
with a horn
later.
thing,
Yeah, the horn guy, the tattoo,
the wolf head or whatever he had, and then he had no shirt on, and he had a flag, and he was running through the fucking. And I'm going, this seems so weird that they're just letting these weirdos in with these fucking objects, and then they see he's standing on the set as he's waving, and then he's looking around at one point just smiling, and I go, what the fuck is going on, right? And then they show another angle and it looks like zombies were attacking. I go, look, somebody made a sound.
Aaron, it was like 4 hours later, and Frank and I are like,
it's still going.
I'm just like this the whole time.
What a great way to encounter that news for the first time in 3D in real time, to be super high and hanging out with Paula, just watching on Alex Jones with Alex Jones commentary.
You don't even know.
Now,
you don't even know.
So pulled in dramatically with full knowledge, we're going to interact with this and have a good meal and just bug out to the stupid shit that's going on because we were fucking around.
We were calling your mother, and your mother was like, I don't even know what they're talking about.
I don't have time for this. I'm doing other things. I'm like,
they're making history right now.
I wrote my dad just to see, hey, are you watching this? And he just never wrote back. I'm thinking he's down there. He's like, fuck this. I got nothing left. I don't even know, right? So, but I'm going, it's really weird how their version of storming the Capitol looks like these people just walking around, right? So they weren't running in. Like, it was the outside shot, like somebody broke a glass, and then you saw like 2 or 3 people run over. And then I go, Paul, watch. Now, this is what happens. The zombie heard the noise, and they broke the glass.
And they're all going to come.
And now they're all going to come marching over. And then little by little, it was like 10 people, 20 people. I was like, oh, shit. Then there was a line, and then they switched to the other camera. And they were literally in a line in between the ropes. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Does Alex Jones, I've never watched him do live news commentary. Does he use a lot of clips that aren't in the mainstream news? I'm assuming.
No clips.
They're all just mainstream.
This was all live feed, and they kept stopping the feed.
The live stream, and then it was from Band TV. Now, I'm only saying this, but Facebook sent me this thing that said, yo, you cannot push Alex Jones on this platform.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I don't remember the wording. It was like, he's evil. Like, he's very bad person kind of shit. And I'm going,
he has other ideas
like
the rest of us.
Like,
they're not Southern.
Speech
you know
what kind of
ideas there? Not Southern.
Look, I'll defend everybody's whatever, but in our level, we're supposed to just back out and observe.
Ooh,
so this was
like
observation TV to me.
Something's touching my head.
Touch it. Right. So
then, use the slider.
Oh, wow. Something just went off.
Where do I hit it?
On your knee again?
On my knee again?
I think it's all good things.
Okay. No, seriously, there's something.
So I'm watching. I just got a high pitch.
Yeah, right here.
I got that earlier.
So I'm watching this going, this is just great.
Paula's
fucking
forking
TV,
herself.
But it feels like I'm watching TV.
I gotta go this way.
That's the problem. Like, it doesn't feel real.
With Sonic slider.
I watched one cop on the staircase. he like pulled out a baton, and then he ran up to this guy, and he like with it, and then he was like, "Come on." And then they started coming in and going up the stairs, and I go, "Did he just tell him to come on?" And then the cop ran, I mean, ever so gingerly up the stairs, then runs back down the stairs to get the guy to tell him to come back up. And I'm like, I don't think what I'm watching is real, but man, this is fucking good. And then after an hour, you know, it gets played out. We did this 4-hour thing where we had it on the TV.
Well, we were doing other stuff too.
We were cleaning and doing all kinds of shit at that point. But I wanted to see. My whole thing is, show me. Don't tell me no more. I want to see the crazy.
That's what I was saying.
And then I realized Trump came on TV, said something,
it was like,
and he was like, "Tell everybody go home," or whatever. And I'm going, this guy is playing chess against them. This is completely scripted. That is my take from this whole thing. And it was so interesting to watch, though, because when the place was really burning, because it wasn't burning, it was unfortunate that a woman was killed. We don't know. And I'm just putting my hands up. I'm not getting into the details with anyone. However, it's all fucking scripted. Something is happening big and playing out beyond any one of us to sit here and act like we fucking know. However, we have the stories and accounts from so many that have been.
Not him. Don't look at him.
Why not?
I have good accounts about things.
But you weren't there. You were.
No. I was going to say etherically.
Oh, I'm joking.
Why don't you let me finish the sentence?
I'm sorry.
I'm etherically translating for the etherical translation of your speech.
Okay, so check this out. That's exactly what's going on here, and we're watching the world, the evil in the world, reveal its head, right? And we're watching the scripture, right? We talked about this earlier, play out. And then what happens? What is your opinion on what happens after the script is played out?
Okay, so glad you bring it up. Thanks for asking, Frank.
You're welcome.
I hadn't thought about it in a while, but it sparks a wheel that sounds interesting. So we anchor in timelines based on belief. There's a lot of subconscious belief in the subconscious morphogenic field of everyone because of our upbringing, at least in the last few generations, of having like a Roman Catholic Book of Revelation form of envy, and we've seen that play out in recent generations, being devastated, wiped out. I mean, even in our lifetime, or at least our close oral history. So all that weed kicked in, so close. That was so close, Frank. But that was good so far.
Okay, so the timelines get anchored in. Look, we're getting into that moment now.
Okay, so thank you. So the timeline's playing out, right?
So I got him.
You look so handsome. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Oh, that's what we're
Come on,
doing.
Paul, too. You get Paul.
Like, I only have one good arm.
Perfect.
Use my good axe.
So that's right. Now do it more gently when I do it with Paul. It's perfect. Balance. All right. So anchoring timelines. It only happens based on collective belief. So the more people that start to leave the symbol set that they've used to believe in the things that are inside themselves, their own archetypes, their own DNA activation, their own healing, their own trauma, to be fully present in themselves, that we no longer anchor in other beings' timelines, other agendas. The
now
timelines.
moment.
We anchor in our own and create our own. And we outcreate the situation, not by warring against it, but just outcreating it.
Okay, check this out. This is you. This is what you tell everyone, Paula. Look, I'm pointing at you. You literally say, when people want to know, what do we got to do to get on the spaceships or to have the thing change or whatever, she just fucking live a good life.
Be kind.
You be kind. Do something good, whatever. Literally, you pull yourself away from the distraction and drama and just do you, right? That's what it's just the same thing said from 3 different people, 3 different ways. We can't make it more simple. You want ETs and aliens, or I'm sorry, I don't need to say aliens. You want ETs and space family, and you want the world to change.
You were watching something on YouTube the other day. It was a channeler, someone who was channeling like Dolores Cannon from 1994. And he was giving the same message that we're hearing today. It's the same exact message.
We all sound like we're beginning to say just the same stuff.
Well, okay, and so on that note, there's scripture talks about that the prophet, spirit of prophecy is subject to the prophet. So when people channel information, or you just become irrelevant, just what you guys do on air, what we do on our show, and anytime you express yourself online.
Shout out to Zach.
What up, Zach? Love you, bro.
Love you, mate.
Love you, mate. What was I saying? That's great. What were we talking about?
First week. Hi, Zach.
3 high Zacks. 3 high Zacks. What were we on, man? Come on, get me on track. Help me.
I wasn't expecting you to go off track there.
Yeah, but we found this little nook of conversation, and it was fun. Hi, Zach.
Bringing ourselves in to the new timeline
Mm-hmm.
and anchoring this in, saying it from 3 different perspectives.
So
the
yeah.
exact same thing.
Cool. So
Gotcha.
the prophecy is subject to the prophet.
Yes.
So that we have part of that's our cultural expression. So the same message that's collectively true, whatever timelines we are putting our focus or awareness on.
Mm-hmm. What's
And
the
so-
truth? It's subjective.
It is because of what you put on. What weight do you give it, and your nervous system will anchor it in.
You are-
So if our thoughts are our thoughts are electric, and then our feelings are magnetic. So the more that you focus on the timelines you want to play out, and the ones that make sense to you, and the dynamics, relational dynamics, or in your vortex, or what you're pursuing, the vectors you're heading in your life, that's all going in your vortex
Well, you're building the path. You're laying it out in front of you.
as you're doing it.
Yeah. Well, you're building it completely on the other side. You're agreeing to it, then coming here and putting it into play.
Yeah, and so you just anchor in those, and so those other things fade away. Your awareness of those things, and whatever level of engagement's there, you're doing it in a way that's not pulling energy away from creating your own reality. Instead of think you have to battle
Well,
against
we
that
have
reality.
so much distraction that's the game that we're playing, right? Here, don't burn yourself.
Mhm.
Oh, you got it. Right. So you
No,
burden
you can have it,
yourself
have
with
it. I'm done.
with oh my gosh, the fucking guy in the Senate and Mad Max looking, man, that ain't no Mad Max. That is not Mad Max in any way. None of them.
I'm good.
None of them. Right. So now you watch that and go, okay, I'm watching it. Okay, I could see the clownery. As that happens, remember we talked about the percentages going up towards the event, right? You need like 51% of your own, and collectively, we all got to get on the same page. You can't assume the whole world's on the same page. We're all in our own universe at our own levels. My mother just pulled a complete 180 on the way she chose now to live her life, from just recently telling us pretty much when we documented this on the show. We always talk about this. And it went from we want to have you with us to her being like, I want no part of it. And then to her sitting here 2 days ago going, no, I'm coming. Like, what are you talking about?
I want
to be with you. And we were like, what? Right? You said this. No, I didn't say that. Paula. And we were like, you just went and blamed Paula for something that you've been doing. I'm going to let this one slide, but be aware. We know, right? But it's still a good idea. So we're going to roll with this. So in accord, so my family is all had New Year's together. That was only if hell froze over.
Right, I remember.
So we are in magic times.
Right, because hell
you're
froze
having
over.
those magic moments at home
So
with
fucking
your people,
cold here.
which
So
is
cold.
so maybe similar but different to what I'm having, because I get a lot of people who go, oh, man, I got a lot like you, or I'm more like Paula, but I get what you're saying. And I'm like, we're all doing it. It's happening. And then people are coming online, and then they're clicking in. So you're only it's not that you're responsible. Your awareness is your responsibility. So if mom's doing it now, if I just shit on her and go, well, you said
No, we
this
can't.
and that. No,
we can't.
You're not allowed to.
You just gotta let
You're-
it go.
You're
We
being
have to let it go.
so your
Say that
subjective
when you get
truth
home.
is from the high level, looking in, now having compassion and understanding where this all came from, knowing that everyone's having a rough time, blah, 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 down
Right.
the line. So you
What do you
just
think
go,
it's
you know what? I'm above judgment right now. That's really what it comes down to. I'm going to say what I have to say. You motherfucker. Right now, I'm going to let it go.
Right.
That's it. It's in full understanding, and we're moving ahead with full understanding that we know that I know that you know that I know, but we're just going to move ahead. Okay. And we're not going to hold you to that. We're just going to hold to the truth, which is this is what we're all going to do. Right. Because everything else was the fucking game, was the drama, was the hurt, the passion, the pain, the suffering, the victimization. That shit's over. When you're like, okay, this is enough. I was watching that going, all right. Everyone's watching that, beginning to go,
Right.
There's something not right here.
Right. Well,
But
now,
others are ready to throw a punch.
well, now there's hope, right?
This is what I'm saying. We're collectively coming on the page together. That didn't sound quite right, but we're all getting together in the same mindset,
Right.
to one degree or another, going, well, there is clownery, but that clicks you into the higher percentage. Well, there is foolery.
Yeah.
Clicks you into another one together. Well, we might not be able to agree on lizards eating babies, but we can agree that there's something really fucked up, more so that's revealing itself. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, boom.
Oh yeah,
That
totally.
you can't go back from that.
Mhm.
You can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. So now you're like, oh, well, Frank said this, or Paula said this, and then Aaron had a good point, and then the three people listening that are like, no, bro, Trump this, Biden this, and they just hear it and they go, oh shit, it's not Trump and them those
Okay,
guys.
so here's the
Light
dynamic
versus
of
dark.
like, regardless of what plays out, there's so many timelines left that could play out. That's one that anchored into 3D. The whole thing played, whatever that means. That's how that played out. But it's easy to get distracted and give too much energy away to what may happen next, so we don't make decisions now. So like you guys talk about all the time, just different ways of like streamlining your life and simplifying and enjoying it more, and the different things you do slowly, little things. Was it MSM?
Oh
You're
yeah.
doing?
The MMS.
MMS, yeah, and just different things in the foot baths and just different things over time, stretching and all the other dynamics. You guys are implementing that all the time.
Well, you have to do something, and you have to science yourself, because how else are you going to know? If you're going to step away from the doctor's office, let's say, right? And for whatever reason, like we decided we don't really want to be there. So to do that, you have to know your body. You have to get to learn how this works. And is this a reaction? And it said it'll be this. They said to push through it. We're going to push through it. Well, it's so bad, but it's never worse than the pain I have now, let's say, or the pain you naturally have in your shoulder. So we just like, you know what? My life is sucked up to this point. I'm going to push through it. And then you realize 2 more doses in the next 2 hours, and you push through automatically all of a sudden. And you're like, wow, I feel really good. I feel really good. And then I ask while I'm under, hey, will this shit work? They're like, if you do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but is it magic because I'm putting my intent towards it? They're like, it works because it works if you do it.
Thank you.
It's up to you to do the science. Now, but you got to do it right. Remember, it's alchemy. Okay, then you do it, and then your cats are sick. Or maybe an uncle has cancer, or somebody's mother, or this or that.
Right.
But it's just starting. My father had made a statement to me that'll echo with me through time. He said, everyone threw things at us that were different modalities of like getting healthier or fixing. Now, my wife was too far gone. However, we didn't even fucking try. So now he's finding like the weed oils and the this and the, and it's helping him, which is amazing within itself, because he would never maybe have that realization, because her path goes different at that point, contracts up. Happens to everyone. My grandfather just passed. That was my dad for 20 years, 30 years, my whole life, actually. You know, he was the other guy, and he just passed. And it's difficult, but I got to take all that I've learned and process it and push all the good forward, knowing that everyone's in the better place. Okay. And then you go back and look at something, and it reminds you, oh, you know what? He was this way, and it's what caused the problem, because he never said anything or tried to help himself. And then you go and try to help yourself. Right. You're like, I'm going to do this, like Thanos. Right, give me the glove. I'm going to fucking do it myself. But that's what you have to do for you. And you got to science it. You got to use the foot baths, maybe cannabis.
Well, a lot of it too is just like your time and attention and honoring yoga, and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to categorize all those things, and so that could be different for everybody.
Self-care.
Actual routines of self-care that are unique to you, that have value, but then that's nice to do.
Yeah, and that was the part that I was struggling with, like making the time for myself. And I'm still having a little hard time with it, but
all right. So one of the things
forcing
I've seen
myself
was,
more now.
Like people that sleep a lot, they'll go, people get tired, instead of having symptomatics or sleeping. So you sleep a little extra, you're doing all that work that, like where I'm out here flopping around, throwing up in a bucket or something. You're actually going through that while you're sleeping.
While I'm sleeping.
I'm going through it because I'm wide awake. I can't get to sleep because it's hitting me in 50 other directions. And then we're off schedule and this and that. But if we were on schedule and that was happening, you'd have to take care of me. Right. But and I'd have to take care of you.
It's sometimes
so it happens the way it needs to happen.
It does. But sometimes it's like long sleep, but I don't feel wonderful when I wake up. Like it's not a wonderful, glorious sleep. It's just like I feel just as bad as I did before I went to sleep.
What's your process for as you fall asleep? Like, you know, people stereotypically count sheep, but do you have a way of like a breathing you go into, or how do you
could fall asleep at will. If you said, Paula, go to sleep right now, I could put my head down right here and fall asleep.
Paula, go to sleep.
I could. I really could. And I had coffee. I really could. You don't understand. Me
Paula,
and sleep.
Go to sleep.
No, I just we
do not test me.
Me and sleep, we love each other. It's my second favorite thing to do.
Cool.
My first one is to eat. just so we know, my first favorite thing to do is to eat
Dude.
food. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
Good food.
it's my
Pump
second
break.
favorite thing to do. I love to sleep. I remember I had
smoke.
I had a
Definitely.
profile on Match.com. It was like 29 days. I couldn't wait the 30 days to cancel the profile. I had to close it down like 28 or 29 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was horrible.
Dude, so okay. In that dynamic too, just another human note with all the political stuff too, and creating your own reality. Like reach out to people as a simplistic advice, yes, but community, man. Especially with COVID stuff, more I've kind of run to people playing with Omegle and like meeting interesting people and like different stuff. There's a lot of people been cooped up and they don't have connection. And they're trying to find connection. And so you can be that, and we all need that. And just to be around other people that there's, and I think when we were talking about this earlier, it's like being in these, the more you put those positive aspects of emotion in your own life, the more you attract the people that are doing that also. So when we interact, it's always positive. It's always forward movement in our own lives and with another person. So it's not just, people that we're having to slow down for, or we're having to manage, you're just, everything's great. Cool. And everything.
So you were showing me videos of you before, and it was on what website?
Which one?
The one where you can talk the virtual bar.
Oh, Omegle.
Omegle.
Yeah.
Right. So I went Omegle. So you could go on there, and it's like a virtual bar. So it means people are home on their stuff, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And are looking for exactly what you just said, because in this day they can't go out because of COVID, or they're just not, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And they have no fucking connection. Now, you and I have watched The Rapper, and I talked about this on the show. You meet someone on the screen, and then you have this conversation with them if they choose to. If not, you move on. Well, this guy had puppets, and it was really creepy, and it felt dark. And I was like, why are you showing me this shit?
And I paused it because I knew he was feeling this way. I know him.
Dark.
I know him. I could see that, when he gets Paula, listen, and Frank, there's negative energy coming in, Paula, and you see Frank. You see him start to get a little nauseous.
Okay.
You see it. You see it in his eyes.
Right.
I saw that, Frank.
Right.
So I paused it.
I got really down from seeing
so
this.
Probably go, Frank. I said, Frank, trust me. Stick it. This is what I said to you, because I saw that.
Yeah, stick
I said,
with
pause.
this.
I said, Frank, stick with me. I know exactly what you're feeling. Watch what he does with that energy. Okay.
So
and I just said, push play. I didn't wait for him to respond. Just so he'd stick it out. Keep going.
This fucking dude is like talking to the puppets, and they're like the evil ones from the
that's
movies.
right. That's right.
You
You showed it to me.
So then he's like, oh, well, it's nice to meet you in puppet
Yes, he
world or
was
whatever.
very sweet.
He's like, I do freestyles, and if you give me 3 words, I'll wrap them in a freestyle so I can rap for you. And then they were like, oh, okay, right? So they give him 3 fucking words, and he's like, all right, great, here we go. Boom, let me kick the beat. Da-da-da. Now I'm going, this dude has got to shut this fucking down now. I'm going to choke Aaron. I swear to Christ. I don't need demons in my fucking house. And the guy starts rapping, and he eyeballs the corner of the screen.
It was a bubble. Yeah.
And I was trippy that night. Remember? I was eating fucking mushrooms, and it looked to me like his etheric hand came out, looked right at me, and started pulling that. And he just looks at the puppets, and he starts fucking rapping off the top of his head. Amazing. And includes everything they said plus, and gets the puppets dancing, right? So to them, they were like, oh my God, nobody's ever done this for me before. And he's like, well, it's great to meet you. And all I saw was a portal opening and random universal whatever would lock 2 things in place where consciousnesses could meet. It doesn't matter, good, evil, in between, whatever, all shades and colors and everything. And then it is what it is. And you could choose to move on, or you could be like, hey, he changed the fucking mood. He pulled whatever jumped into me.
He pulled
whatever
it out.
and transmuted the whole fucking
This
thing.
is the gray Jedi, in essence. Like, right? The middle Jedi. Like, really, you transmute. You find sacred neutral ground for everybody, so you can all laugh. Everybody can do whatever they want. There's space for everybody.
There is a way to find coherence. And worthy.
Humor's great.
But listen, here was the thing. I felt that his oversoul was like using this for people like me as the example, and was like, don't worry, I got you, bro. So you're just going to take the ride, and don't worry, you're not going to have to spit a demon out, Frank. Shaman Frank.
Right.
You don't have to do that.
Also, the value
what you got to do is watch.
The younger generation saying, Dad, just wait, chill. Dad, then I'm going to pause it.
What I saw this dude do
don't freak
was
out.
so amazing.
Watch.
For a freestyle was just unreal. And I instantly went to that guy's thing, and I friended him. I said, this fucking guy's great. I'll watch his shit. And you can choose to bring as the portal opens. So each time you walk through my door or I walk into the room to see you as the portal opening, you can choose to meet head on and be like, hey, what's up? I choose to show this and do that and whatever. And I'm like, yo, he just changed the mood in the evil throne room. He like walked into the hell dimension, the puppet evil hell, and got them all to fucking dance. What are you fucking not? And they were like, we love you. Remember at the end, they were like, we love you. And he's like, oh, I love you guys too. I'll see you later.
Fucking great.
He dropped a fucking happy anchor in the middle of hell.
No one's ever done anything nice for Quirky.
They actually, their energy changed. So whoever was controlling
I watched
those puppets,
it. I was
beautiful.
totally freaked out.
Was
I was
so
like,
happy.
why are you listening to Aaron?
You, I, and the rest of us
Don't
need to
regret
learn to do something like this in
So far.
all versions of the situations. Doesn't mean we're going to happy anchor by rapping our way in, but some days it's like just throwing a compassionate, non-victimized, like, oh, I'm sorry for you. Not that. It's like, hey, you know, we got this. Don't worry. The sun's shining. We still going. You made it here and we're going. Have a great day. Like I always do, real positive vibes to whoever I'm talking to. So I'll look at them and go, hey, don't forget now, sending you positive vibes. And some days I'll go, like I'm building something, and they're like, "What is that?" I'm building you the positive vibes.
Oh, right on, man. Fuck yeah.
Right, and I see the tether from me to them. The energy comes out of my chest and goes right to you.
Just like from that video you're talking about,
go, hey, thanks a lot, man.
Cool.
I gotta have my own way.
Yeah, totally.
Because I'm a steamy little butthole sometimes, right?
Wow. Are you guys into that?
No, check it out. If you're a
steamy butthole.
Listen, if you're known to be a jerk,
small,
right, Frank, you're being a fucking jerk, right? It's like, what do you mean? I'm just being me. Well, but when I'm not a little bit of a jerk, things just happen.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's like Manifestation City, Abundance City. So I'm like, how can I change this? That guy was doing it and I was watching it with you and went through the whole experience and then said, literally, that we talk sometimes and I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit about this. Don't give a shit about this. That's something I cared about and was like, oh, I got to look into this because I need to change me so I can do that anyhow without forcing it, because that's non-forced, dude.
Totally.
He just knows
that beautiful.
The fucking confidence. You know, guys, so when we do the show and I'm a little dick in the beginning, right? I'm like, man, dude, today I had a bad day. You guys send me energy and I turn into this other thing.
Yeah.
I go right back into being me. And I'm like, fearless family. And Della's like, oh, I got my wands. Rihanna's like, I'm hitting you with positive. Everyone's shooting them in. Oh, yeah, it changes it. Okay. I need to be that for every situation. That doesn't mean make you dance, make you do. Just when I step into the position with other people without having to be a clown, look at me, or even over talking people. I know I have a habit of that and shit.
And did you understand? Several times, I think, during the podcast, we were simultaneously having a conversation while you were having a conversation with the audience. It was fine. It went on for like 30 seconds or a minute. And then we all just continued on in the same conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're hitting us in here. And then I haven't looked for
I know. No, it's great. So it's like, all right, he's doing that.
Yeah,
Paula.
No, but look, so
I'm just here when you have the question.
How to become
Paula,
this.
any questions? Etherical translator. And then I could potentially etherically translate the etherical translation.
I'll use Paul as the example to not exclude you two from the conversation. Ready?
Okay.
So you naturally say, people just love me. They just don't want to let it go. Right. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Because you can do what that fucking guy did in the rap with those puppets just naturally.
Listen to how confidently, not confidently. I don't know.
See, I don't know. Are you a good person?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Do you have a good personality?
Oh, yes, I do.
There you go.
Okay, so
I know exactly what people love.
There we go. Cool. That's why you taught Paula. You just get to the heart of it.
I know why, because I make every one of you motherfuckers feel special.
Fuck yeah, Paula,
and
you tell us.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Tell us. That's serious. Fuck yeah.
So that's the truth, right? So.
And you just suck and you suck and you suck. Not you, Aaron, but not anyone. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's the word on that is just like the guy in the puppets. The puppets are fucking jerk offs, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's NPCs, it's demons, it's fucking puppets, it's the fucking 65% that's like, fuck you, Paul. Nobody wants to hear your fucking mouth going. And then you walk in the room and go, hey, and everyone goes, hi. And look, you got quiet, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that's what fucking happens. Because that dude does it on the screen this way.
I know.
I do it with the show or with the music or with the whatever. Aaron just does it naturally, actually. You walk around doing it. It's actually a little it's like a burst of energy around
No, I
here.
do. I love everyone.
It
I
like
do.
brings everything up a notch, just like Ellen brings everything up a notch.
She has. We were just talking about
Bella
it the
and
other
Joe
day.
make
You have
everything
to, 'cause-
interesting.
No.
Drives it right up a
What-
notch.
What were we saying? She keeps
The weather
us.
is different up here. I'm 6'6".
She keeps us. It's not that she
Still
keeps
just
us
as fucking
young.
cold, though.
She keeps us in a state of always expecting more. She keeps us in a state of
Like the
living
abundance
in the
doesn't run out.
now. It's like she does this thing to us, and it just
the Adderall
keeps
does.
us on our feet. It's just,
but it's natural.
it's just amazing. Like she does this thing, and it's like she's our godchild. It's
no,
so
it's
weird.
It's the energy, it's the personality.
She
it's
really
what
does.
built.
She
It's
keeps
her true
things
self.
fresh and exciting all the time. That's how she keeps it.
Yeah,
It's like
it's always
fresh and
interesting.
exciting.
But
oh, Paula's an awesome.
We are bringing
thank
all
you,
of that
Della.
together. Which, okay, here's another point that I want to make, because see,
Oh,
all the other things are
good
unimportant.
comment.
Aaron's here, right? So we got Aaron. I was telling him about the cats. We got to
What
play
up,
with
though?
Reggie every
Oh,
5
yeah.
minutes with this fucking string,
So
right?
Reggie learned how to play
String.
string,
She
and
never liked any of that stuff.
now
she's
she
string
only
queen.
wants to play string in the kitchen.
Now,
So it's been hours
you can-
and hours playing
Okay,
string.
We have jokes about hours and hours, right? Me and you were in there before, and I was just kept doing it.
Yeah,
doing
it was
we were just
probably
chatting
an hour.
away.
Mhm.
It was gangsta, but I started looking at it after like the 5,000th time. Like, all right, she's getting me off the couch in the middle of the night to do it.
She's like a crack baby.
I know, but
It's
I don't
horrible.
exercise ever. Here's my point.
Oh,
So
I see.
started
I see.
going-
You're turning it into a positive.
I
I
started
see.
throwing
Right,
the string
right,
with
right,
rhythm
right.
and
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this
cool.
thing. I made the
Okay.
string extra long. You made it
Yeah.
really long.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was like a dog.
Okay,
ball
so you're
thing,
like, so you're
like a lightsaber with
exercising.
2 sides. So I'm just smoking, bending over, stretching, going, hey, you get the string. She's fucking loving it, flipping out. It turns into this new thing. And after 3 days of this, we have like a rhythm. It's no longer a come on, let's get this over with.
That's what I
It's
say.
like
to
I'm
her.
gonna sit here probably now for an hour
You're so much better
to a
than
half
me
hour
because
and just
I am
fucking
like,
do this. I'm gonna make coffee. There's gonna be other cats. The other day, I had four of them, and then I think it was yesterday, and everyone I had to hold the strings by the half, and then I was just
oh, so
wiggling
you were
them. I
dangling
had
them for
2
the
here
four of
and
them.
2 here, so it's 4 cats going fucking nuts, and none of them want the other ones there. And I'm like, I have to figure this out. And then they all grabbed it once. So they all had the string and I had the string. And I started going, the puppet master. And I was laughing and laughing. I was like, this is how it works with the archons. And then,
Oh my God, yeah.
dude, it was so
No,
funny.
yeah.
But life imitates,
You're so
Dude,
much
I'm telling
better
you, the
than me.
LSD is a great place to play act that shit
Oh
for
my
hours.
gosh.
That realm that it brings me into, dude, me and Nate did that for hours of this place of just play and like play acting of engaging these narratives and like,
Really?
oh my God, it was hilarious.
Well,
but it's like,
LSD
it's
allow
just,
you
it's
if
creative, but
you
you're
two
entering a
can
role like
take-
Gandalf and like this whole, he's a hobbit
I
and
love
it just like
Gandalf.
went into this whole thing, man. It continued on, just developed, and you're just laughing constantly and everything's swirly.
Thank
And so
you
it's even
much,
like the
really.
roles,
Thank
We
you.
love you so much.
even
So
though
we're gonna do a poll right now. I don't.
it's full.
We're gonna ask the crowd because there's a lot of people in the room right now, and I appreciate all of you being here. What is your preference? Right? Is it LSD? Is it mushrooms? I won't use ayahuasca. You can put DMT on there. You could put ayahuasca. Just mention what you use. Is it meditation? Is it yoga? Like what gets you there? What do you do and what is your preference? Just so we can get a hint on what's going on in your mind, and we'll blend everything into that because we're drawing together all the beings and the people that want to hear it, that want to be there, that want to be part of it. Everyone that doesn't will just fall away because it's not for them. So I want to take it into the next, because you're nutty with this, right? Like the LSD makes me feel alone. However, the last couple of times, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have had nothing but this hyper self-love. So I take a little bit of it, not a little bit, like a half, and then I feel better than I've ever felt. And I'm clear-minded, and yeah, I'm connected, but really I get into me. I can't explain that. Like, like if you understand like words like that, you go inside, and I love it. However, mushrooms are I think my absolute
Okay,
favorite.
but even on, so that's with your
'Cause it's
experience
like
up
that.
to that level of dose, because I have run to the dynamic where it's not the experience I've had where it's total opposite, isolation horror for a while, just because there's such isolation and loneliness or fear. Like not cool. So there are things that maybe would not be good for certain people. That's why everybody at the right time and the right way and your own intuitive dose and whatever, however you do that, and make sure it's pure. Please go to your good extent to make sure it's pure.
Go to your local guy that makes it pure.
Find out. Just
and
manifest
be responsible,
clean, pure
please.
ones.
I hear what the younger generation does, and I go, Paula and I tried a tab this was a while, years ago, and we thought it was going to be like mushrooms, and we started fucking around and stuff, and then we completely separated, and then you were on the bed, and then I remember something split from me, and it was like the lizard was nose to nose with me, then he was on the bed, the frog thing was looking at you, and it was showing me man versus lizard versus this, and I was going, I'm so lonely, and this weird shit was going on, and 7 fucking hours went by, and I was like, this is just way too much.
I wonder, so setting in a lot of dynamics, I think for that, like we talked about that, I feel like in different people create different morphogenic fields from being around each other. It creates different spaces we create when we're together. It's a real thing though, man.
True. You set and setting, and you could sit there and throw your intent down.
Yeah. I mean, that too. And then just the natural ones of literally just being around each other and what is created, just from coming around. So we happen to be doing this podcast and this whole thing.
Stuff works, man. I smoked DMT in a blunt once, and it was better than anything I've ever done.
That was his idea.
And it was the most comfortable DMT experience I've ever had. But it was so super strong.
Me too.
But I
was there too.
Yeah.
Without any of that shit.
Dude.
It was just
okay, listen, back to what you're saying too. It's for LSD, mushrooms are your preference. When you're continuing on the survey and asking people their preferences, mushrooms your preference. I'd say at this point, LSD is definitely mine.
Is it really?
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen, I think maybe you guys just haven't had a high enough dose and or set and setting. And knowing, like, what times I've done it, one that kind of come up can be, especially 4 or 6 tabs in, like on the gels that I've had, so far been like the cleanest and the best experience and consistent every time. And I've only done it like half a dozen times. I haven't done a lot, but I've done a differentiation enough to know there's certain places I've had the lower doses several times, and I realize it's very different than the 3 to 4, at least 3 to 4 tab dose. There's just really a threshold you kind of put, maybe like, so how I've heard people describe astral projecting at times, getting through this barrier, whereas like you get in this meditative state or whatever, and it sounds like a train going through the room or your body, like this in between, like dissonant vibration before you switch into the next phase or realm, right? So it could be like that, like you get enough in you that it makes things dissonant in you, but you're not pushing through the plateau of the next realm within that, like the difference between what gram mushrooms, 3 grams or 5 grams or whatever. So I think because I'm just from my own experience, but for this places, man, when everything's swirly. So my mind is pretty much the way it is, normal, but everything's swirly for hours, effortless. All right, with the mushrooms, like things are kind of like, your psyche's more involved. It's hard to keep your eyes open. It's way better to keep your eyes closed in a lot of ways. And then with and ayahuasca and different things, like you can open your eyes, but it can be like you're not going nowhere. We're like, all right,
you're inside, you feel fine, but something's going on. Yeah. And you open your eyes, you're like, nope, I'm gonna just sit
what's going on out here? Nope.
I feel in context.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think LSD only goes back as far as it was created. So the consciousness of it doesn't allow you to go further.
Here's the thing I've experienced, because everything you're saying I understand is like, why? I mean, I could see that through. I guess the first time I did my own like rituals to cleanse it and purify the realm itself as this big fire ritual thing. It was just a blast. I just developed it into the experience, and like, it's the one I never say. We'll see, like the secret archives of a neo shaman, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like an hour and a half of me walking around this whole backyard, like, I don't know, 9 times one way, 9 times another, with this commentary of like, it gets more and more funny, but also serious. Of like, it's
I don't even know how the fuck you
talking to entities. Like, it's fucking great, man. It's just, I think of it as like getting to see like the audio journals of like, what's his name from the Vegas one, the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and the main character that is in that movie. Yeah, but who's he playing? He's playing.
Oh, I don't remember.
The guy he's like a big acid guy. Audience.
I can't remember their names.
Who is it? Kevin should know. I've only seen the movie recently.
He doesn't play the guy that does articles on everything, and then
his
he's always
name?
shooting his guns.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson. I was getting there.
Dude, could you imagine? And the movie kind of is, right? Like his own audio journal or diary in his head, the way he's narrating it.
He's fucking nuts.
Dude, no, he's not, actually. Listen, maybe this says something about me more than it says about him. But listen, he's not. Because, dude, the way he's perceiving things based on what he's going through, it just makes sense. Even sober watching that, just like, oh my God, I understand LSD more now in certain things. Like, it makes sense. And then the other shit that got crazy, right? And fucked up in that movie. They went to some extreme degrees.
They went into adrenochrome.
Oh, I know. Crazy shit. No, crazy shit. But I'm talking about his just mannerisms from the beginning of the movie. It's just mainly LSD or some other shit until, and just his being that way. So being inside of his head. So I see that in some of these audio journals, especially on these experiences too, because it's recording also the whatever I'm speaking into reality.
Do you like to tap into those guys?
To which guys?
Any, like those kind of characters, the Hunter S. Thompsons, and
I
know people who tap into the other characters.
They're fascinating to me. It is fascinating to me just to see, and he's lived his whole life that way, detached from society in those ways. But like, so, I mean, that's just like, what an interesting person to choose to respond that way. And LSD is really interesting because I feel like it's not your response to. That's not about your response to it, or it's about like the impressive thing, or is your psyche's response to a single molecule, right, or a single thing that just shifts. Like for the most part, for me, that once you hit this plateau, is visual perception. So literally everything's swirly, and so the light hits everything. The pyramid over there, and just everything. And so you see different layers of it. Just makes sense, but you're not
refracting.
But you're not in these rolling, spinning psychedelic experience. It's just literally your eyes are open, things are swirly, and it makes things so interesting. Like spend time in the mirror. God, this was so great. Because like if you stare in your eyes and your eye sockets will stay the same and everything will move around it, like these past lifetimes or other species or just epigenetic expressions. I see it like literally in your face.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. I'm like, they're just crying at times. It's just beautiful. Or you see the crazy shit or some like scary shit or whatever, but like you just like go through it. What?
No, I'm just laughing because I sit there on mushrooms. I do the same thing. They go,
So
don't look in the mirror, and I go,
it's great. Here, why do you? Okay, have you ever experienced?
Wait. What's your favorite?
I don't have one. I like cannabis. That's what I like.
Is that literally your
So
favorite?
that would be.
That's my favorite. I love the tincture. I love the.
What is it? Okay, wait. What does it get you? That's not what I meant.
What does it get me?
No. What does it? How does it affect you to bring you into the position that you like to be in? Because we're talking on a level that psychedelics would kind of bring you into, but we both know a good shoddy will knock you right into DMT world.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I agree, and I can connect like that anytime. So I think for me it's easy because I'm more of an audio. I'm hearing it all the time, so I have to be able to trust what I'm hearing. And a lot of the other psychedelics, I can't trust what I'm hearing. I can't trust what I'm seeing, and I have to be guarded.
Why do you trust cannabis?
Because it's never, ever, ever failed me, ever.
So you're saying ayahuasca has?
Ayahuasca showed me things that I didn't want to see, which is fine. Ayahuasca taught me lessons I didn't want to relearn.
Interesting.
Okay,
so ayahuasca forced you, even though you agreed, not fully knowing, she forced you into situations.
She did not force me. No. She didn't force me into anything. She made me
circumstances.
She made me see things in a way I needed to.
But you're differentiating why cannabis is never
teaching around.
Totally. But cannabis has never brought you to a place you didn't want to go to.
No, never. Not one time ever.
Cool.
Never. And
I
smoked a lot of weed. There was one day I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. And I was like, no, it's not enough.
Listen, he says, for me, acid is magical. I understand, man. I cried like on the come up on the first few times. Like, I just cried because, like, here's the thing, too. Nothing's actually solid, right? My fingers aren't actually touching. Where's the light?
Yeah, you see the hole.
It's all, well, you zoom all in, it's all electrical impulses.
But you can't do anything. Like, whenever I'm on a psychedelic, I can't leave the area. I can't leave the couch or the bed. I can't walk outside.
Yeah, it's totally different. So that's where I'm saying, if you can get to this place where we're set and setting your different dynamics.
I can't do it. And I cannot interact with other people.
Here, I've had plenty of people say now, this is what I thought the mushroom experience was supposed to be like. This, because it's like an altered perception just visually, and then you think differently because of that. But it's just beautiful, and because that's how everything is actually. And what's cool about it, so the source of the light is still the brightest light, but the refracted parts and then the swirling around it, because it actually is there, a collective belief in it's actually in the wall.
I
and
100%
electricity
agree
and all
with
like
that statement.
And then, but it's also, you see how it's only there temporarily because of like this collective focus agreement that it's actually there. Well, at least that's where my mind goes.
I agree with that comment.
Right.
However, I don't feel it's worth how I feel after it's over.
But I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying.
No, I'm
general,
telling you
compared
how
to
I.
Paula.
No.
for sure.
In my world, I'm telling you, like even mushrooms, I have a hard time
The
because
mushrooms is different for me. I'm a little more timid with mushrooms.
the mushrooms are hard, and I cannot have this experience with other people. I've tried it, and I become an alpha female, and it's horrible. I become this person that I become the part of me that I don't like, or the part of me that I tried very hard to work on my whole life to squash or to dissolve or to have disappear.
You become like
I just don't like it. It's everything that I'm not.
Clint Eastwood
And anyone who knows me knows that I'm not that person. So it's so opposite of me, and I don't like being something I'm not. Like that's the one thing we talked about, me and Frank. Like I don't wear a mask. I've never worn a mask. And I feel like when I'm in that situation, I have no control over the situation. I'll even say, please, in my head, like, please stop this from happening. And it's like, no, it's on. You took it. You made the agreement.
You know what that means, though? That it's something that you might work out through sleep or other ways. But now that we got you here, you got to blast through this now because it's.
I don't like the person that I am. I don't like that person. I don't like that person.
But you got to bring that person to the surface, right? And you look at
I
him
guess.
like I did Double Danger Frank.
I did look
like,
at
bro,
her.
Come here, I'm gonna give you a hug. He was like, "Don't fucking touch me. We could split the power." I said, "Oh yeah, karate kick." And he was like, "Oh, I'm down. I'm just like, you belong to me, bitch." And I pulled him in, and I said, "That's enough out of you." Sorry, but it's the same thing. It's the other character.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is that? Angry Paul is a mother.
Yeah. Oh, Angry Paul is a terrible person. And I don't.
Everyone runs when that person.
Oh yeah, when that
out.
person comes out, because it comes out that you want to see cats scatter, you have to see Angry Paula come out.
Everyone just hangs.
When I am, because I don't get angry often, and I don't get mad often. But when, like today, that was a joke. That was nothing. That was just.
That was blowing steam.
That's family.
Yeah. So why does that come out like that? Do you feel like it's getting stuck in other places so it builds up or something?
I think it was a childhood regression thing. I definitely think it was what happened during my childhood that I thought was addressed, but I guess isn't addressed because when I get angry, I am a very big believer in respect. I'm a very big believer in please and thank you. I'm a very big believer in it's my pleasure to do so. Don't make it my job.
Thank you for the pasta, Paula.
No. You don't have to say. You're welcome. Grandma loves you. You'll get a $5 bill later.
Yes.
Can I also get some lotto tickets? My grandpa does that. It's great.
But I mean that, and I believe
thank you, James.
And I thank you.
Send you most positive
and I believe,
vibes. Love you very much, Fearless family.
Thank you, and I believe in reciprocity, and I just believe in kindness. Like if I'm extending you a kindness, just extend me not even the same. Just do your best.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then pretend until you're not in my company anymore. That's all it takes. And then don't be in my company if you don't want to be anymore.
Make sure if you poop at someone else's house, you flush it.
Yeah, that's it. Just that's it.
Grace.
It's just courtesy. And, just extend that courtesy to me because it is extended to you.
Holy.
But that's how I feel. I'm a good person.
You're a great person.
Do the best you can. I don't
people
expect you to.
Of that shit, though.
Oh, all the time. But people do, but not anymore. People used to take advantage of it.
Like, see, that's something that we all.
Oh, I worked on it. I worked on it.
So that character has to come out. Not to mention, we all know who you are on the other side, right? So you're already kind of fucking jacked out of your face, ready to punch someone in the face, stab them etherically, and be like, "Look, I can just fucking end you here." Or
I am.
Just
that's
nice.
why I was upset about the cat.
So well. Look, not everybody's the same. In Paula's mind, it's cemented. It's done. You can't break it. You can't shake it.
If this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. This is how I see it. This is what you have to do. Like,
am I gonna have to put my hand
like your mom,
your heart out.
I'll
have to do that.
I have to get work done on my car.
Squeeze it, bring you back to life, or tear it out and ram you.
This is just an example. Please don't donate cash to me. I have to get work done on my car. Nothing expensive. So Frank said, "Oh, Paula's going to take my car." right? So she goes, "Where's your car?" I said, "I have to bring it to Raleigh." She goes, "Why did you do that already?" I said, "Because we just took Oscar to the vet." So now Oscar is my baby. Oscar gets treated before anything else happens in the house. That can wait. We have 2 cars. My car can wait a week until next week, and then we can bring it to the mechanic. But Oscar needed to be treated this week. And she started panicking. And then I said, "I am not panicking. Don't panic. I have Frank's car." And again, please do not donate money to me. I don't need money to fix my car. That's not the point. The point is, to some people, this is the end of the world. To me,
Yeah, it gets to this suicidal point. You don't have gas in your car.
Right, but to me,
Bronx, huh? Damn, bro.
I get it, bro.
No, but my baby gets taken
Sometimes
care
we
of
gotta
first.
budget shit. We
Your
gotta do
children
certain
get
things.
fed first. Your children
Why
get
would you do
medical care first. Your children get clothed first. That's just the way it is. It's no different. I have cats. It's no different. He needed surgery. He needs special food. He needs medicine. That's what he gets. He gets it. I can wait a week, and she was outraged, but she has to understand that if it's not bothering me, it shouldn't bother you. I did like it. I didn't like how I felt after.
See, that's what I'm saying. And everybody's different from some of my experiences.
Right. You had great experience.
They're so great. And I stay up all night typically. And
see, Joe said it too.
And then I wake up next
magic.
Like maybe I lay down for 20 minutes before I get up again. But no,
but
when the sun comes up, you have a second wind, not tired next day at all, sleep for a normal period of time, and just totally keep rolling.
It's got to be my medical condition and doing things like that.
Medications. So.
No, I think it's because my condition is a neuromuscular condition. I think it's controlling the temperature of my body. I think it's a lot of things, because the only thing I take is an antispasmodic. But I just think it just hits me in a really weird way, and it's not a control thing. Like, I thought about that. I was like, is it because you really feel you need to be in control? No, I don't. I actually like it when Frank takes control. Like, to be honest, we've done Molly a few times, and a couple of times I didn't like it. And then there were a couple of times when it was the best thing in the world, but the recovery is too long. It's like drinking 6 bottles of wine. Yeah, I don't have 2 days to recover.
Yeah, that's why I like it too. So Lucy is the mistress who has never done me wrong.
Well, we had Sally. I think Sally.
Yeah,
right?
Sassafras.
I think it was Sally. And that was great because
tell me.
Because the recovery time was very, very, very short. Like, it was one day, and like we just hydrated the next day. But
it's interesting. Most people feel that one would be also draining. Because it releases a tremendous amount of neurochemicals in the same way that don't recover quickly. Everybody recovers differently.
The best conversations the whole night. It was like we were just unlocking these doors as we were talking, and it was unlocking. It was just an unlocking and an unlocking and an unlocking. It was like an awareness. It was like an unlocking of awareness. And they really were like these, it was like Tetris. It was like these building blocks that were just unlocking. So that was a great experience. But again, it's that recovery time.
Yeah, for the SAS so far has been great, because it seems to be one molecule different that feels extra good. It just does.
The one molecule is before they make it MDMA.
Yeah,
it's like the last part
is Molly. So yeah.
So you're getting a straight hit with it. See, if you're sciencing yourself properly, I was saying, if I was out at a club, I would have lost my shit.
Yeah. I couldn't be out in public.
I had to go to the bathroom. Right. I literally it was hitting me for 20 minutes. I got sick. I threw up.
I threw up too.
It was too strong.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, but it was so clean. You could tell when it's clean, nothing hurts you.
Yeah, right.
You feel great. And then I had to go to 1 and 2. And then when I was holding the wall, it was shaking. The whole place was shaking.
I feel nauseous now.
And then they were like, this isn't ayahuasca. It's
right.
all,
bitch.
This is how they explained it to me. You're connecting to the same places through different modalities.
Yeah.
But you're coming to the same spot.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do Aya, you can barter with her. Like, hey, could you slow this down for a minute, please? And she'll go, okay. Mushrooms, you could kind of do that. LSD, you can't. Synthetics, you can't do that.
No, you can't
unless-
do that with synthetics. You
I-
can't. There's no.
I've
There's
noticed
no.
you can't.
There's no negotiate.
You
There's
can't
no
pull the brake, you
negotiating.
can't ask for help. You can't.
Right.
You just go the fucking.
You're not in the driver's seat.
Which
Interesting.
that freaks me out a little because like the mushrooms are like, look, we got you.
See, now I had talked to
But
a
then you
friend
go
that I
fight
had
the
worked
demon.
with a long time ago, and he was like, "But you are in the driver's seat." And I said,
Yeah.
"I don't feel like I am in
So
the
you
driver's
like
seat."
cleansing, they're paying attention to cleansing the realm you're about
It
to
could
go
just
into.
be
'Cause I feel like I
me.
have a really good
But it
relationship
does amazing
with
things.
pharmaceuticals.
But it
Okay.
could just.
my
It could
energy.
be
Hold on,
me.
so-
I mean, I
The
know.
Molly, what did it do for us? So good, right?
Well, we look,
So
the
good.
sex amazing, but aside from that, that's a 3D, that's a physical thing. Just the conversation
Taking
unlocking,
places.
just
It
the
was unlocking like
just
crazy.
the heightened
How
awareness
much you love.
of
Yeah,
the
man.
conversation. It was amazing. And
Just
and
connection.
Frank was
human connection,
Yeah.
presence.
it was
present.
it was living in the being present
Yeah.
and being in the moment, because I don't think you can live in the past. Like, you have to be present when you're having that experience. You have to be fully present. And I think it's hard for a lot of people that don't like to acknowledge their presence. Like, they want to live in the past, or they want to wish the future away. They want to wish for the future. So being present is a very difficult thing for people to do.
Right.
And you're forced in that situation to live in the moment, to be present. And I think that's what people may have a hard time with. I like it.
See,
That's why I love.
mescaline's organic, so that's why I would
See,
say
I never
yes.
tried
had the
that,
best
so I don't-
times on
I've never
mescaline.
tried it. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, cool. Something to look forward to. Fantastic.
You know, I'm sure it
Space
is.
food
I just
coming for some
I think
new
definitely the
experiments.
psychedelics are better than the than anything,
Synthetics.
the synthetics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. I mean, because I've had really positive experience with plant medicines and entheogens. I see, like, I have my own relationship and dynamic there. And
Look, this is how it is, man.
But that's exactly
I'm
it.
47. I lived a life. I'm not going to
But
turn
that's
around
exactly
and say, well,
it.
I didn't get to try it because I'm too stiff to want to try it.
Right.
I took the coal out of my ass and
Right.
said, you know what? You're not going to know until you do it.
Right.
I'm not smoking fucking dust. I'm
No,
not,
we're smoking
doing
weed and
crazy
again
shit.
didrinking coffee. You just made a.
Anyone that's
did you
eating
just make an
Oxycontins
Right
of any kind of Percocets and Vicodins of any kind of gabapentins of
Well, you've
any
been-
kind, you're doing yourself a fucking disservice if you're gonna judge me based on what I do for any way, shape, or form. Because at least 90% of what we're doing, what I put into me, is organic. So we could fight and argue on that all day, and I didn't mean to explode. I don't know what's wrong with me. I
No.
feel like I'm hyper connected right
No,
now.
but you are connected.
And
The
the coffee's
conver-
almost
We're
done.
connected.
The
the
Fantastic.
conversation
Bro,
is connecting.
we're
you.
here
Did
to
you
be
make
connected.
you made the regular coffee, because that was the Odin's blend. You made the
Okay.
regular
I didn't
coffee.
make. Was it
But listen,
blend?
I'm gonna.
Oh, you
fit-
just
I'm
reheating
gonna
it?
tie right back into this point. It's gonna be great.
Great,
We're triangulating. It's gonna be great.
great.
All right, so
No judgy McJudgies. We all do this together in our own ways. There's your touch. Go.
cool. So
Except Frank judges.
the
Yeah.
Frank,
Okay.
triangle connected.
Yeah. Okay.
Dear Lord, please bless. Just kidding. No, just kidding. Oh my god, it still looks like that. That's fantastic. All right, so connection. When everything's swirly, that reminds me. So that everything really isn't solid like this.
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
get it.
Even this is like
Mhm.
super
I
awesome
know,
because
I get it.
because this is you guys' bodies, and I don't
Right.
get to see you guys very often. And there is truth to like electromagnetic fields connecting and just all that. So there's so much unspoken that connects, but still this versus all the things we're creating in our imagination that we know are also real and more real in some level, being able to manifest that and create that vortex going forward. So we can all have a giant vortex like Paula's.
I do have a big vortex. I do. Well, that's how it is.
At the same time.
But you have to live your
Hey.
3D life.
Your giant vortex.
You can't
Why,
just
yes, it
live
The
is.
out
influence of
there.
me.
You have to live. Yeah.
No, but all right. Look, truth factor. We're all coming together. All roads are leading to Rome in this situation. No matter whether you're doing it one way or the other, you're beginning to see the lizards in Vegas. You're beginning to see the lizards in outer space. You're beginning to see the demon in yourself, the parasites eating your
Right.
skin, the ding, healthy, better conversation, better people, touchy conversation that's not gropey, uncouth kind of shit, where it's another level of things. It's not what President Trump's going to do.
Don't need to
against
do
this
entheogens.
guy over here. We don't give a shit who's on General Hospital. I don't give a fuck no more about football, baseball, basketball. You ain't done shit for me. However, athletics are great. You should go do them if you feel comfortable doing them. Athletics are important. However, when it comes to just mind zombieing me, I'm coming apart from that. So what do? We join forces. Look, we get it all right here. We get great Paula, great Aaron, great Frank, great Fearless family, everyone that's joining us, everyone that listens later. It's becoming, the circles are taking over. Like the tribe drum circles are getting bigger and bigger, and they're joining and interlocking like giant DNA strands because we're all connected.
Cool.
From me to you,
It's a tree
from
of
me
life.
to you, bouncing
Circle of
out.
life.
Tree of life.
Ancient tribes.
Tree of life. I have two etherical translators here. This
We need
makes
to get
it
us-
so difficult
We need to get us a Simba.
in the best ways.
Yeah. Well,
Because everyone in the room can finish my sentence and make it sound pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
did you make fresh coffee?
No,
Or you
because there was
reheated
still a lot of
coffee? Oh,
coffee.
so okay.
But it was
Wait.
at 91.
How'd you make not fresh coffee? What
Oh,
did
he
you-
No, it's
reheated
fresh,
it.
it's just-
He reheated it.
Do you want some?
No, I don't. Thank you. No, Aaron can have it. You and Aaron have it.
Yeah, coffee sounds good.
Yeah. No, it's good. He just reheated it.
Cool.
It's fucking delish.
Looking forward to it.
We went 3 years this time without having to buy a coffee maker. 3 years because we had to order a new one the other day
Mhm.
because ours started to go. So I went on Amazon and I wanted to get the same exact one because I wanted
No.
to keep the carafe so that we can make 2 pots of coffee when we have company to
Mm.
come over. So I ordered it and it said I ordered it 3 years ago in 2017. Now, when Frank and I first started doing this show, it was the first 3 or 4 years I bought 4 or 5 coffee pots.
Mhm.
And I told him, I'm not buying another coffee pot. Like, I never heard of this. Like you burn out coffee pots like this. And then we realized because Frank reheats coffee, we can't get a Keurig because he'd be drinking like 9,000 cups Keurig pods a day.
Mhm.
And I would too, because I drink a lot of coffee. And so we had to get one that didn't have a burner and it lasted 3 years. So we're expecting that one to last about 2.5 to 3 years too.
Cool.
It's the only thing that grounds me properly.
Stupid speak. Yeah, a good cup of coffee. I said
Important to know.
if we break up, the next woman better make a good pot of coffee because I'll tell you,
Don't tell your secrets. If there is next one, don't tell her.
gonna-
Paula. Keep it to yourself.
no,
The thing
she'd
that I
have
have
to
to
know
say
because
is-
he'd
'cause he
strangle
cares about it
her.
too much.
He would. He would.
If I
He
got
would kill
a
her.
demon
Also,
inside
nice.
of me, will you
Yeah,
help
yeah.
suck it
Well, you know how to get it out. Yeah. Okay.
And if they look at me like,
Yeah.
now I gotta
Yeah.
go next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you fireman
nope.
carry
That's
me when I
It's not my
pass
house, Ring.
out?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
So look, so even things like coffee, a cigarette, some weed, whatever, all little ways of doing this, right? So a lot of people like food. You said before, food does it.
Oh, it does it for me.
There's a section and a community out there that can connect through food.
Works
Period.
for me.
Whether they're cooking it, whether they're eating it, but
Critiquing it. Yeah, I get it.
We did a on that note, we did a fasting thread. So connecting through food. This is actually connecting through anti-food, no food. We created a fasting thread, and there's a handful of us in there who fast on occasion, and it's a good way to just chat. Like when somebody throws out when they're going to be fasting, you just throw them positive. You can either fast with them because it's easy to do a fast for someone else or something. Just because
Yeah, it's
there's
support.
movements through the day of like your gut microbiome, parasites and stuff responding to what they expect to be getting in. And so it's not really being hungry. It's just in the cycle of releasing those chemicals at that
Right.
time of day. So that, once you get out, that's people know that to transition to intermittent fasting or eating a certain window, you just stop getting hungry in between, but it can take a couple of weeks for your nervous system, which a massive amount of it is in your gut, to adjust to the new reality of what you're choosing to put in. Ooh, which is a great metaphor for everything in life. Choosing to put in meditation
As
and
above,
different
so
things to
below.
heal yourself. And
Oh, we put it on for Oscar, the healing, the 528
We did
healing.
9 hours of that.
Yeah, we have to do it more. Because he's like,
that's what that one is. The 528 hertz.
yeah, the 528. We gotta ding
The
him.
heart frequency.
Yeah,
It works.
my poor boy. He's old.
Similar.
You could send him
You do
five
science
positive
through.
vibes.
Okay, here's something we haven't mentioned through the music, the sounds, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Through sounds, you can do the same thing. You can not do psychedelics, or anything else.
yeah, you
and
could connect,
could
yeah.
listen to different kind of beats,
You could do it in a
music,
bathtub.
instrumentals,
Yeah,
singing songs. I mean,
yeah,
there's
taking
no
a bath.
way.
Yeah,
Like I connect sometimes. I'll be doing like a little silly dance in the kitchen, and I'll pull a spin out in slow motion where I could like make it look like I'm skating in a circle without looking like a Fred Flintstone,
and you look like Charlie Brown.
like Charlie Brown, and then I'll
He
go,
does.
hey, where did I get that one from? And then the answer will come right there.
A
"Oh, you
Charlie
used to
Brown
do
Christmas
that."
story. That's
You know,
what it is.
and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
what about like this? And then within a few moments, you realize you're talking with someone
Mhm.
and having this conversation on how to properly make a spin.
Uh-huh.
But it's not your higher self. 'Cause
I
you can
talk
hear the
all
higher
day.
self
You hear me
still,
talk to
like, hey,
beings
be
all
quiet
day
and listen,
long.
because this is a master, and you used to do this. So I'm
Mhm.
literally a master at it, but so were you. And here it goes back and forth. And you're like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I just did a spin in the kitchen in a good.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in a good mood, right?
Dude, so an interesting dynamic too, Nate. And I watched some videos on the chestahedron and the sacred geometry of the heart. Actually, that's there beyond the flower of life. It's all within it. But if he discovered this geometry, and he's an incredible teacher, like human beings in his 70s now, but he does these has for at least a decade or two. These presentations on it, and they're just beautiful. It goes through the thought process and the mind creation development process of discovering this geometry and testing it and discovering it in different ways, and it ends up being the wraps of the heart that go around in the Fibonacci sequence, and it's all super awesome. But one of the things he talked about was if you're struggling with nightmares, drawing out sacred geometry. It's the most simple order. If he said sacred geometry, I believe he said just be called geometry. It's just truth. It's absolute truth.
Mhm.
A point to a point is a line, a circle, 360 degrees. You can do this with a stick in the sand or two sticks in the sand. I mean, it's the most simple thing that connects all human nature, our physiology, the seat of life that matches our, our reproductory embryology.
Reproductive organs.
Yeah, or like no, when we are born, just our embryology. The cells, they start to multiply, look like the seat of life, and and cells as they divide, just all the overlays of that geometry to our to our life. So we got these little things to draw out the flower of life, right? And just drawing circles with this little compass thing I got. Not like the traditional compass. There's actually like, was it like $4 for 12 of them, which are great. But you hold the circle down the middle, and then there's different points along the way, and then you draw a circle around. And as I was drawing it out, I remember you just kind of tune in and focus on what you're doing, even if there's music going or whatever else is going on in the background. And even actually, I think part of it's having conversation with Nate at certain points because we were just doing it on his kitchen table. But I remember having dialogue with myself or different beings, like higher level beings, just aware of like what I was doing and hearing them being like, oh, if he draws this over here, then he can, and I'd start to draw it. And then they'd go, okay, now he's going to do this and this. And then I'd do something totally different that would jump 10 steps ahead. They'd be like, what the fuck did he just do?
Yeah.
Right. And this is all just in my mind, right? But it's just an awareness of structuring my own thoughts, maybe fractals of myself, or you call other beings, or sure, all of the above, depending on the dynamic. Right. But it's structuring it as I'm doing this. And so as I was like, well, watch this and do this, and like just blowing them away. And then at one point I was like, what, guys? They're just circles. Instead of like making light of it because
they want to know why.
How do you know?
No, I'm serious. They want to know. They'll
Give
go.
us your codes.
You know,
Give us your codes.
There's only 5 ways he's going to be able to back himself out of this thing, and it's almost like they're taking bets. Oh, take a look. He's going to have to do this to do that, and then as a creator being, you do something that's not of the 5. It's not of the top 1 million. It's the one thing nobody ever considered.
I didn't even know there was a 6.
And then to you, it was nothing. It was like, well, that's the thought process. And they go, how did you get from there to there?
Right.
And they have giant debates on it. Giant fucking debates. And they wait for you to explain it back to them so they know.
Right.
Yep.
We work with each other, not against each other.
This is all just thoughts in our head. Take it from
X-Force.
Toothless Scott.
Toothless Scott.
Hey. An Eagle clip coming near you. Toothless Scott, the character.
So one of Aaron's fractals is Toothless Scott.
Oh yeah. I don't know how far we want to get into this story.
No, I'm just saying. Just
Because we could. It's so good.
Just in case you hear that down the line, you're like, oh, it's him. It's like, yo, Toothless Scott's in the house.
If we remember, we'll link it down below if that ever happens.
If you're ever down in
very small
Mississippi, you
chance.
gotta check 'em
we'll
out.
Remember at this point.
Once again, guys, girls, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We're having fun in light of everything that's going on. Shout outs to WD-40, my boy Willie. It's been crazy, right? And it's been stressful. So it's good to release, and we need to release once in a while. We can't just fucking talk about lizards again and outer space and inner space and this space. It's all relevant now. You have multiple directions. And when you're reading the chat, where everyone's taking different roads, high roads, low roads, mid roads, this
Right.
road, that road, things that were unexpected through the darkness, through the void, and you're anchoring the light. And that's what's important, to do that. And it's like, well, I'm doing it. Now what? It's like, just live now.
Just live.
Live your best.
Find a way to construct in your life everything around you. Like, it's kind of like the minimalist thing, right? The decent summary, as I understand it, when you're minimalizing your life, or the concept is if it doesn't bring you some kind of visceral response when you touch it, hold it, look at it, you know, or necessary response, like, you know, it's your router modem going to give you a visceral response other than it's necessary, maybe, or whatever. But like clothing, or just things that make you have, like, all this shit, you know, all little totems, if you will, and like archetypes, and just things that actually add to the background of your life, and just knowing that you're connected, emotionally connected to your environment at all times, and being consciously aware of that and creating that.
We realized that the two Ghostbusters, Egon and Ray, were Paula and I. It's just something we throw out there. It's like,
Was that the other night after these burgers? Were you trying to aggressively attack
He
Paula
was trying
all night
to
after these
eradicate
drugs
me.
that
Yes.
he took?
Yes, but it was funny. It was. I was
Listen,
laughing
you
through
trained
the
her
whole
well.
thing. And then
Did they get that statements on record? Let's edit that out right there.
in the middle of it, I was like, "Oh, we had weed oil." Like, it made sense.
Shout
I
Yeah,
was
no
like,
doubt.
"Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Sons
okay,
of the
we had weed
sun.
oil." Okay.
See, yeah, that's where you got to know, like, okay, I'm on something.
Yeah, see, word.
When
All
the
right,
doors get
Roxy.
spoken.
Yeah. She was like,
Yeah.
"They're just stupids." Yeah, that's Roxy.
She's gonna do that a whole
When
bunch.
she meows
She's
at me,
sleeping.
yeah, she's in
She's gonna
agreement.
answer you.
When she meows like that, that means she's saying word, like she's in agreement with. Yeah, see, yeah,
Roxy.
yeah. You could pet her. Yeah,
So,
just be careful.
Aya took me through the abyss, and you know what? I am the abyss as well as the non-abyss. The
Oh my
void
goodness,
and
she
the
could.
non-void.
You could pet her.
To
Oh, she's
experience the
stretching.
deepest, darkest of such helps you get higher.
It does though.
Right, the
It
lower
does.
you get to rock bottom on all levels, it's like the slingshot pulling back. Those of us that can handle it the way, like where I see it, where it's visual, they got to show you, it physically changes my life immediately, allowing me to launch forward and get focused into a position that I should have been in, you know, before. But we're not wearing masks anymore. This is the whole thing. There's no more wearing masks for those of us in the ascension, graduation, whatever you feel like you want to call it, moving into the new position of New Earth, the 5D. We don't wear masks. She doesn't wear a mask. I don't.
What do you mean, etherically, or?
No,
or...
like we wear masks for each other. We were talking about this earlier.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, I don't wear masks, right? I'm just me.
Oh, I mean, I thought you meant COVID mask. I'm sorry,
Not
in a
masks
3D.
like
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah. No, I don't wear a mask.
Masks
It's
like,
what it is.
okay, well, you know, I'll be the redheaded stepchild this round, and you guys could all pick on me.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
No, we're not doing that
Yeah.
anymore.
No.
We're not. Well, Frank's this, and Paul is that, and
Right.
then this is that. No, I can give you a list of what I do and the many
Right.
hats I wear up front, but then there's infinite ones that I'm not going
Right.
to tell you because it's just everything. Like I'm not settled to one thing anymore. Like you can't just say,
No.
well, Frank's
And that's why having
rapper.
multiple avenues of expression allow you to round out your digital projection
Sure.
into digital space. So if you have the podcast, and then you have Paul. When we have Paula's cooking hour, when she gets home, she just talks to the camera about her day, and
Or I just yell at whoever's here.
it's
and
gonna
I
be
tell them
fantastic.
what happened.
That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic,
just
Paula.
yell.
You know,
Just
it's
yell
not
for
a whole
45
day
minutes.
until
Right.
you hear Paula lose her shit a few
Oh
times
my
in the
God.
funny ways.
No,
And
it's
Frank-
funny though.
Frank
It's all
doing
funny.
morning stretch time with Frank out in the sun.
Oh my God.
it
Dude, him
hurts.
just
My God.
yeah, just dude, really.
It hurts
I
so
told you we
much.
had to. He's been doing it's been 94 degrees in the bedroom, and he wakes up sweating, and he has to change his clothes because he's soaking wet, and we had to take the mattress pad off the bed.
I come
yesterday.
out so wet, you'd be thinking somebody just threw a bucket of water on me.
And I'm like, what
I'm
happened?
like,
And
I'm
then,
sleeping.
yeah, so we took the mattress pad off, and it looks like the Shroud of Turin. Is that it? And
It has a fresh spot.
there's a Frankie spot, like you could see the outline of his body, and I'm like, are you in
What the
full blown
fuck
menopause?
happened?
What's happening here?
I don't
Oh.
know, I'm right there.
It's
47.
horrible.
Listen, we're joking that that's maybe your subconscious getting to help you create your circumstances where you're excreting more toxins. and having to
Drinking
take in more water.
Oh, he totally is. We're
Right, but,
doing
like, so like
yeah.
yeah, so that happened. It's like let's say he had been, then maybe it wouldn't happen that way.
No.
Oh, you're gonna find out later when it goes off, and you're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Right, you're
in my
gonna have to
world?
leave the kitchen window
we're
open.
gonna keep everything shut, closed, because that's what we're fucking doing to Aaron. Space Jesus. If he's really Space Jesus, he'll make it stop. He'll change the fucking steam water into steam wine, shit like that. He'll get up and start walking on the individual molecules of the water beads across the room.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to do any of that. You just have to open the window
He'll
and
be
then
in full winter gear.
Listen,
in the heat, smiling.
Frank, listen.
I was
listen.
sleeping. I had all
burger.
Space Buddha says sometimes it's just easier to pay the toll of the ferry and open the open the goddamn
open
window.
the window and stop being a dick and just open the window and then
Space
everyone
Jesus
will
would have agreed
sleep.
with you, but this is Space Buddha. Space Jesus beard is gone.
There are better ways.
There are better ways. This is the way. You don't know. I open the windows. It drop it down to 55 inside. And then I slowly close the windows when I hear Frank snoring and I know he's solid sleeping.
Tape
and then
your mouth shut at night, Frank. Another thing could totally change your life, your energy, your and your body's ability to heal itself.
What are you talking about? You want me to
tape your mouth nut shut at night? There's literally tape they market now with a tiny little hole in the middle, and like that's mouth tape. There's a science behind. There's 35 plus things that happen in your body that only happen when you breathe through your nose. That don't happen when you breathe through your mouth.
Really? So you want to?
Your jaw changes over time. There's a whole lot of other stuff.
Okay.
But for me, there's been out of the last 3 years I've done it. There's only been a very, very small handful of nights where like I had to pull it off because my nose was too stuffy. Usually it's like my body as I'm going transitioning to sleep knows I'm going to be putting this on. It's like it just adjusts, and and my nose is clear by the time I'm going to bed, or clear enough. And then that
I'm gonna have to let this one sink in. I don't know.
It solves so many problems. I wish I knew this.
I'm
like
probably going to try it because we're going to raise the bed. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, and so then he might, if he's too stuffy, you can just open a crack in the mouth. I mean, some is better than none. And what I've noticed with me is just if I didn't have it taped, my jaw would just naturally open because you find out that even like certain monkey species that mothers, babies, they would close their jaws while they're sleeping to teach them to breathe through their nose. I understand the value of that, but we don't even understand that now. So people are just going to bed breathing through their mouth. Their parents don't think twice about it because we don't know any better. He's breathing, but
you
like
don't know any better.
He's not breathing through his nose.
Because you're a heavy mouth breather,
dude. And it is. Why do you think
breathing through your mouth?
Why do you think it's used as a slur, right? For being retarded, for being a mouth breather, because it literally lowers your IQ. There's some study done.
I wasn't saying that. I was just making
fun.
I'm
saying that's the culture associated with it, and that's why.
There was a point where I had to, and I have to at times.
Can I have
catch myself mouth breathing?
That water right there on the end table. Thank you. Just bring the mic over, or I'll hold it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so weird. So I want to just show you guys that.
Thank you, my love. Thank you.
If I did that, so when I sleep at night, sometimes I have to have either a towel or a pillow right, and it's like the small pillow right here under my neck here. Right, I can't sleep correctly.
It's a process,
right? So it's got a headphone, but every crack in the light or whatever, I can't take it. So then I put this like this. Wait,
the drama. You don't know.
No, I have a whole rituals.
Sorry,
I want my own room when we move. So this
I'm going to show you this. What a fucking pain in the ass this is.
Dream house is there's 3 bedrooms.
Yeah,
there's the shared one. When you guys want to cuddle, snuggle, do your thing, and the other times you get your own.
Yeah,
you stick that in your nose. Put this over your fucking head. You're playing your fucking music. You got your pillow behind you. Now you want me to tape my mouth shut.
Okay, listen, I understand.
Now just put your hat on and you look like a garden gnome.
You actually should there's a Nikon magnetic eye mask. They would be better than that because it blocks out more light. Or you need a black one.
I mean, it fucking works great.
Then we set the cracks in the light because it gets down there, right? The light.
No, it cuts everything out.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, it's good. Awesome. And I pump out the proper gigahertz, megahertz.
Oh yeah, he
sound.
listens to this.
The binaural beats, whatever.
I put it on, or I'll listen to like sounds of rain or something.
Yeah.
And then after I pee 3 times, I fucking finally pass out. But now if I tape my mouth closed, and then maybe wait. Sometimes I lose because of my neck. My hands go numb.
Yeah.
So the doctor made me wear braces for carpal tunnel people. So I had 2 of those on, right?
Yeah.
And then I get a cramp in my leg, and I need fucking the juice that you left over. What is
Right,
that thing?
but the
You're gonna destroy it.
magnesium we sprayed all the time. But now, if we raise the bed 6
6
per
inches.
inch, no 6%.
6%.
6 degrees, 6.1 degrees.
I can pull this out of my nose, take that
Right,
off of my
so we're
head,
gonna
pull the
try
braces
that
off my wrist.
first, and then we're gonna
This is
see how the rest of
frustrating, is
this
what I'm
goes,
getting
and
at.
then we'll see if we have to tape that fucking mouth before you go to bed.
Later, we're just gonna giant X goes the spot.
I
This is
can't.
how you
I
know,
can't.
this
You
is
don't
how you
even know.
know-
We don't
this
even
is how you know
sleep
Paula
in the
loves
same
you.
bed now. We sleep fucking separately.
She
You're
didn't
here
jump
now.
on that right away. She's
It's
like,
like
yes,
scheduled
doing it
sleep.
tonight.
Yes, we're doing it. We're trying it. No,
But
we're gonna
folks,
raise
I've
the
noticed,
bed
I've
first.
noticed, yeah, totally. That's fine. Like that helps too. Also, the angle where your body sits, your lymphatic system is able to actually move differently too.
Yeah.
So
That's a cool word, lymphatic.
no, that's an interesting word. And there's the lymphatic system, which is its own thing.
So-
LSD woke me up. Mushrooms grew me up. Yeah, interesting. So it
Everyone
was
has
my- I had it
really,
after
really
mushrooms.
groovy and completely different modalities, guys, girls.
Yeah.
Like every one of you has one of those or two of those on the list.
Yeah.
So it's working. Plus, you add meditation to the LSD or to the mushroom. Now you're jacking in at a higher level. It's what you can do, how you can handle it. You know, a lot of people are afraid of doing certain things, and there's no reason to be afraid because you made it through the
Perfect note. We pull up Nathan Weir's comment right above that, in line with what you're saying. LSD was magical until ayahuasca. It's never been the same since, and I usually land somewhere in a hell realm. So that's part of why I did my own little ritual, like tuning into what I understand in my lifetime and intuitively to what may be in that realm that I'm about to engage with, something as a dissonant frequency, say contaminant or bad, but like really it's just dissonant with my life experience, my avatar. Don't need to be going and traumatizing myself unnecessarily.
but she's showing you literally all you need, or what you can take at the time. There is no, unless you're using her in a weird way.
No, she'll show you what you can handle, but
She'll
some of us
give-
can handle a lot. So
Yeah, but
some of us see a
Okay,
lot.
so if you're going
Some
into
of us
hell rounds
sees
and stuff,
a lot.
I've been there, man. I've been where every time I'm going under for a while, there's reptilians or this ET wants to do something to me, or I got somebody like a client over the house and we're working together, and I do go in, and the first thing is, you have an attachment, look out! It's, oh my god, we're gonna, and you got to keep a straight face, and you got to go in the other room and throw up. I get it. You break through that eventually, but you have to be willing to do it, and you have to have, like, you put me in the hell realms or whatever,
not going
or
yet.
a realm where these other things are. I immediately just start, I don't know, finding that within me that
Right.
will, I don't get like, oh, I'll never get out of here, or it'll feel like forever, but I know in my hearts of hearts, I'm coming back. I'm the creator. I'm stepping through this. I'm coming. You are all here for me. Even you, Dark One. You oh, I am the darkest ever. I eat every child on the planet. Okay, good. You realize I'm here now. Oh, fuck. He knows who he is. Oh, like it kind of pushes the
Okay.
button until it can't push it because it can't come over and just grab you by the neck and just start. And if it does do that, you're usually out of there pretty quick. When you were here, when I drank Aya, there was that murder rape situation where I was under watching the reptilians do all this fucked up shit to us and then killing us. And then you're just born out of it again with none of that stuff happening to you. In perfect harmony, in beauty and awesome, where you heal that. And now, all right, you can walk through Hell Realm. What's Paula going to do? What is the fake storming of the Capitol going to do to you? What is a meteor that might crash into Earth that never
Right.
fucking does? What does
Right.
that do when you hear
You've
it?
already seen the worst.
You're like, bro, bring that
Mhm.
shit. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
I walked through fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so there's the proactive or responding or reactive to a situation that you're put into and ways to handle it, which you explained very viscerally. And
I know
like an
there's better
excellent
ways and
storyteller.
more ways.
No, it's a whole spectrum. That's a whole thing that's important for people to know. Like, what do you do once you're there?
Yeah.
Right, but
what
then
do you do?
ideally,
I drop happy anchors. I
What-
drop lines of light. I say hello to people, beings.
Mhm.
And if they go, girl, you know what you're about to do? You're about to get cake because I'm here for a reason. So if I'm here and I'm the creator, what do you want to do? And they immediately start changing their tune. And the
Okay.
ones that don't get transmuted.
so then that's when you encounter a situation. Then there's preemptively, like doing the contract revocations. So we did even before that time you're here, and ways you can craft your experience before you do it. So spending time to actually pray, not just put your intentions right beforehand. I mean, that's fine. I think that's on some of a bare minimum. On one hand, it's not trying to be like you have to do it for X amount of time. It's not religious. It's how much are you in training your focus of your awareness with what you're about to do. And if you can put, it's not about some of the length, it's about the strength also. So you can be very potent, putting that half a second, 2 second intention and really pulse like a reality, like you fully just deposit the package that you've been forming for a while, or cultivating intentions.
Mm-hmm.
But actually connecting with it on that much more thorough way amplifies everything.
Agreed. I do everything with intention. Or not.
Yeah, he does. Your vortex is so huge.
It is.
Right?
It's gigantic.
I see you, baby. Expanding that vortex.
Brony's
Expanding
big,
that vortex.
throwing shit in.
Baby.
That's how we do it around here.
Expanding that vortex. Expanding that vortex.
Yeah.
Look, lighten up, because now's the time to lighten up. Literally, you're lightening up. You're getting lighter. You're releasing trauma and
I
bullshit.
think it goes that way.
Whatever they show you, you take and just fucking deal with it, right?
Eat it, chew on it,
do all this
and
fucked up shit.
recreate.
So that's you doing it to you.
You create you, boo boo.
Believe that. Okay, so you're never alone. I've been literally attacked on all kinds of weird levels. I always make it back a-okay as long as you're healthy and responsible with it, and you're doing it with respect for yourself, and you have the intention. You know, when we read the invocations, and then I did any psychedelic whatsoever or not, it immediately brings it into your life. Like my mother, when she showed up here after you did the revocations.
Yeah, and then she broke contracts.
You had
with
nothing to do with nothing.
Time to do that
You
again.
smoke some weed.
She did it. She sat in that
time for you
chair.
to do that.
I know. I have to
her.
do it again.
For you.
But I did. After she did
Oh, I know, I
that,
know.
I did it.
Yeah.
And it was funny. Everything fell away.
Yeah.
And
So that's where it just like things naturally fall into place, but it's because you're reestablishing levels of your own sovereignty.
oh, I
Yeah.
was.
That's exactly what it was.
We learned. We learned
So everything's
what
distant falls away
Ellen taught us that
or
boundaries.
harmonizes.
Ellen was brought to us
Chap Ellen.
for a very. She was brought to us for a very specific reason, and we're not sure quite what that is yet.
To teach you
but
boundaries for one.
she really is a special
what
person,
you
though.
said.
She has really kept us on our. She has kept us. Like I said, I don't want to say young, but she has kept us in this state of nowness, and I love that about her. Like we're planning our birthdays are a couple of days apart in February, so we're planning our birthdays now.
She is.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Very much like Molly.
No,
gives you present.
She does.
When
she
you're sexually
keeps me
engaged with Frank.
well, not just sexually engaged. I mean, we don't need Molly to be sexually engaged.
Oh,
that's just Tuesday. But
no,
Tuesday.
Molly did something
bonus day.
it, like remove barriers that you aren't even aware that are there.
Yeah.
And you become more hyper loving, more hyper caring, and then you're gonna do it anyway. So the getting to that point, there's like this other amount of love you didn't expect that was there, and caring, and the touch feels great, but it always feels good. But you sometimes when you're just humping each other or going out, even if you're love, it's all about love. There's like these things that you're skipping through parts sometimes, not enjoying the part, like the kiss and the sensual touch. And you know, maybe sometimes it's always awkward because there's 20 cats around and you're trying to be sexy, but the middle of the couch bends, so we have to jump up and just fucking take our clothes off. But then we get back into mode instead of just doing it. Right? You're skipping a lot of steps sometimes with anticipation for the next step. Like yummy, but you're going through it too quickly, right? Like have a little enjoyment of the process, and the Molly will put you through the process with no filter, so it's beautiful. Instead of going let's fuck, you'll go, and I don't mean to be so rude, I'm so sorry, you might go like hey, right, like hey, like come over here, like
Frank,
just rubbing each other and stuff.
Frank,
it becomes different. It's like, so do you know why I love you? Do you know why? Well,
now
like
everyone knows, right?
Right, you guys make it so much fun to talk about this stuff.
Please continue. It's great. Just getting started.
You break down barriers, and then you're aware of those moment by moment and barriers that are now down that were making you skip moments. That it's like a beautiful machine starting. It's like a brand new car, and you turn it on.
Right, it makes you slow down. Yeah, no, she does. She makes
awesome, and then you drive to a place that you feel great while you're going, and you take in the whole process. Right. But then that's what brings you into the etheric process when they go, there's a whole book on it. What the fuck is it called? Like with the different moves that you can do to each other.
Oh, the
Tantra.
the-
You're just
I was
talking
saying
about
it
that.
before.
Yeah, earlier today.
Okay, so I wasn't aware of none of that
Yeah, boom.
shit
Talk
until
about
Paula
shit.
and I got together. And
To educate the
we
people.
made love on a level that transformed. It was like
Stop! Stop
What?
talking
This is-
about it.
Oh, listen, it's all right. It's
See,
gonna
I
be
told
great.
you this is what would happen.
This is
See,
why I'm
this
here.
Set up on
This is
purpose.
the help.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's great.
No,
That's
not
cool.
with Paula. Aaron and I. We're
Apparently,
talking about this.
because we are talking about it.
No. We did shows on this where our individual bubbles combined, like we're doing our thing, but all,
And it makes a hubba bubble.
it makes a double bubble, hubba bubble. Right?
Hubba bubble.
So the two
You know the bubble
become
gum?
one,
Yeah,
and one
a
giant
bubble
bubble,
bubble.
and you're
Hubba
protected
Hubba
in there.
bubble.
Hubba
You're
bubble.
So it's
doing
called?
your thing,
Yeah,
but
I don't
etherically,
know. Hubba bubble.
I don't know if you're going or if
Remember.
it's the background around you changing.
I'm so-
The whole situation
I
changes.
think it's hubba bubba.
Everything becomes different. You start to see and feel these different expressions.
Oh, absolutely. You
that
feel
were
you feel
higher-
everything. Yeah.
It's like love on a higher level,
Uh-huh.
but you're also there's always one. I told you a bunch
Just
of times,
touching
like
your
they're
hair is
all
a-
looking at
Yeah.
us.
They were
And
all
then-
looking at us and they were happy.
I remember one of them was like, "Hey," and then
Like,
something
bravo,
like pop,
yeah,
pushed
like,
it back,
bravo.
like don't. And that wasn't me, but it was my higher. I could tell it was my higher self that got me. This is why I don't stress it. Like anything that gets up on you, that's like, God, I got you. Man, if a light sword will handle that shit, it just automatically occurs. I don't have to. It's when I resist and go, no, protect me, like a little
Yeah.
baby. If I'm just like, whoa, this is great, it's already done. Higher self's got your back. You're not going to fall off the cliff. You're not going to make the leap
No,
of
you're
faith and
not.
fall in your neck. You're going to do it, but you
Yeah.
got to just do it.
So this comment that's up on screen,
Yes.
it's the one right before that. Can you scroll up too? They're kind of combined. It's his first half. No, same guy. It was up. You gotta scroll up. Keep going. A little bit up a little more. It's right there. Okay.
This one?
Yes. Yeah. I think so.
This one?
Okay. So I've had some DMT packed maybe for like 2 months. I need some words of encouragement, but then keep going with the other things you're saying. So if you have the right attitude, a hell trip won't be that traumatic.
No, it won't be if
No.
you have the right attitude
You're
because you
going
will
in-
persevere no matter what.
Yeah. Are
Because if you can
nervous
think
when you're
it-
going in, or
Look,
are you overthinking?
Let me explain something to you now, and I don't have much experience with the psychedelics, but I do know from being on the other side and the times that I was in. If you can think it and you can concoct it, you can destroy it. So if it takes a coffee cup, a scissor, and a thimble, and you can think it, you can get yourself out of any situation you need to, and you can always come back home. You can always come back home. You're going to have to go
This is
through
where
it
intent comes from.
because whatever you have to learn or release or
You can say,
face, whatever you have to go through, you're going to have to go through it because they're going to find one form or another to keep showing it to you until you go through it. So the best thing to do is to hit it head on and know that if you can think it, you can destroy whatever is coming at you.
yeah, the
No
devil
matter
itself
what.
could be like, I got you in
Right.
hell. And
If
you'd be
you
like,
can
get
think
the
it,
fuck
you
outta
can
here.
destroy it.
Right? And then they're like, well, how are you going to do it? It's like, well, I literally am made
Right.
of that which
Right.
hell cannot sustain.
Exactly.
And they go, damn it, he fucking knows who he is. Like,
Right.
it changed. They'll go, no, but we got you. And you go, no, you don't.
Right. And you let them know who you are.
I'm the creator, bitch. One guy, all right, one of the scariest moments was I was on the deck with Ellen and Paula, and I was coming back from the New Jerusalem ship back into my body, and I stood back up.
Oh,
and the whole background tried to overtake me. It was changing my background, and I was like, I didn't know what it was. And an angel, a fucking angel with a helmet, and his eyes were red, pulls a flaming sword and comes up. Now I'm on we were like 20 feet in the air
Yeah, about that.
on the deck, and it was daytime. And I look over and I go, hey, buddy, what are you doing with that flaming sword? And he looks back,
Mhm.
and I go, I asked you a fucking question. And then he looks up and goes, he's not accepting the programming. I go, excuse me, I'm the fucking programmer here. I program you, bitch. You don't fucking program me. And then he was like, I go, now what are you going to do with that sword? Because I'm standing here in a pair of shorts looking out for Ellen, and I got all the people here I love, and you're pulling a fucking sword on fire. You protecting me? Or you want that thing jammed up your fucking ass? And the whole background just went
Melted away.
whoomp
Right.
and flattened. And
Because it's
it
your
was
fear.
normal.
Your hell is your
And I was
fear.
like, We're the programmers 100%.
Right.
They can try and program you. It's the program trying to program you.
Right.
That's cool. Needs more dragons, bro. Meet mine. That's how you got to start handling this shit.
Right.
Okay, so for intent, I talk to the DMT. It's ayahuasca, basically. Or whatever. I go, listen, I love you. I know you love me. And I know there's something that needs to be done here. However, can we maybe not be in the hell realm? And maybe I get a little more understanding. Maybe it's the way you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like, if you're it's like set and setting, then mindset. Like, did something happen and you're overthinking it? Are you still in a fear mode? Are things like politics making you afraid of things that they might come and take your freedom by kicking in your door?
No, they always tell me,
they
like,
lost already.
Yeah, you're going through this. Just get ready. And I'm like, okay. I'm like you said, don't be scared. I said, I'm not scared. I just have to go through it. Like, it's an understanding. Like, they have an understanding with me. It's like, look, this is going to suck. And we're telling you it's going to suck. But you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's how it's going to be.
Whatever
it's my
you
turn.
can. I'm sorry.
Me.
I was waiting for her to take it, and you finally gave up right when she's ready to take it.
No, Aya said stuff like, you need to handle your business. You need to learn how to handle this stuff. And then you're like, all right, bro, I can't take any more of this. And then they turn it up 10 notches, and you can handle it. You start going, hey, wait a second here. Let me ask you a fucking question. Since we're in the middle of this now, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 years,
right?
Over the course
5
of 30
hours.
seconds, over 5 hours, like you, all these weird things happen. You have to pull it together and go, okay, like at first it's scary. Yeah, no doubt. We're all, and then you start going, look, I'm the creator. You guys are all here for me. And I love every one of you. And it just starts changing things. Hey, do you think we can try that? I always ask the mushrooms, hey, could you check my back for me?
Right.
Could you find Teddy? Help me tune in to where my cat is. If we can do that, I'd appreciate it. And I'll do, naturally, you're in charge.
Yeah, whatever you need. Yeah.
But I'm like, I'll go 110% for you because I know you got me and you won't let this happen. And they go, let's do this. Just put it in your fucking mouth.
Right. But you put it in the intention.
Like the mushrooms tell me, you got to put the mushroom in you. Just put it in you. We'll take care of it. And I find myself getting scanned, purged, pulled apart.
See, that doesn't happen to me.
And then it starts to get different. Like the UFO thing recently, that freaked me the fuck out. And then I stood there and opened my eyes and was like, they were like, are you afraid? And I'm like, no, I'm looking right at you. They were like, yeah, you flinched. And I go, I did.
Like, fuck you.
I was not expecting to see that.
Like,
you, man.
Like, I know this
floating
ships
dark.
Are you in this advanced skin suit that gets startled easily?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
look, I know the ships are right there behind the clouds. I know there's probably hundreds. I'm going to say it again. Hundreds. I think there's hundreds of thousands of them. And I think they're waiting to make. No, yeah. And I think they're waiting to come down. And
species and dimensions and like
totally, but they're so close, like they're like really close, like right above the airplanes. They're right here. They're in our atmosphere, and I think that the space programs know that they're there, and they're just not saying anything about it. But however, with that being said, I would be scared as fuck if they came down and they said, "Hey, you ready?" I'd be like, "Yeah, give me 5 minutes. I need 2 to hyperventilate," and then I'd be like, "Look, I gotta pee, and then I gotta pack a bag, and we're
if
good."
It still feels good by then, all right, we're out.
We're good.
If intuition-wise, it still feels good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, I also found this place on Lucy. There's links with all this, to an extent, but like this place of coherent focus. So everything's swirly in a sense, but I'm just paused and breathing, and man, focusing on your breathing, like DMT and everything we were talking about earlier,
it helps
just so much. It even just helps, man.
It makes it better.
But listen, this is the ancient ways. Without entheogens, there's different physiological processes of the sacred secretion of Christ and the breathing techniques, and like the way you move your tongue back, you can flip it back in your throat to pass by this like liquid fluid that goes up into the cerebral spinal fluid, or just some crazy shit. So like there's some cool ass shit to figure out with the body how to do. We can achieve similar states through entheogens or other types of experiencing that experience.
Oh. Are you passing?
It's too small for him.
It's too small for him.
It's too hot.
I got big fucking fingers.
It's too hot.
I'm just glad you're not my proctologist. I said it.
You're so stupid.
True.
What are you using, your thumb? Sorry. It's just my baby.
It helps me grab your pelvic bone, drive you around.
I'm trying to find your G spot.
I heard there's one back here too.
We wanted to
Yeah.
make this as painless and
What?
as
Yeah, it's not a bowling ball, okay?
Oh, no doubt.
Let's commence.
I
Let's
don't know,
go.
man. Somebody must
sorry.
maybe just have anybody
I
that
don't
can
know.
bowl well. Oh,
Shut up.
oh,
There's people that make really good livings bowling.
no doubt, man. Man, I heard the story of somebody who likes eating ass so much, even after they had Mexican food, and she farted in his mouth.
That's
terrible.
He
terrible.
liked it.
That's absolutely terrible.
Awful.
Way to turn
That's
it into
absolutely
something
terrible.
Weird.
completely more.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, right.
Amber Turd.
Amber Turd.
Kittens
Don't
and
know till you know.
Kittens and rainbows. All
Good.
right, move on.
Paula,
Yes, dear.
see the screen up there?
Mm-hmm.
You're not on it.
I know it's all right. They don't need to see me.
So the moment of being in hell, can you still think
That's smart.
coherently?
Yes, you can.
You can. Okay.
Okay, no, I'm gonna add to this because that's true.
You can pull it together.
Here's the at a base level, depending on what kind of hell realm you're describing. Okay, so a lot of people have very anthropomorphized experiences, like Frank, actual beings, articulating language, specific things. A lot of mine are very amorphous encounters and very interesting and like deeply intuitive, intense engagements. And sometimes and I see everything movements of like our energy through our myofascial tissue. That's all correlates to what's going on in our energy field, where it generates a lot of our experience, or parasites in the system, or things like that, because they change the frequency of it. So I have had enough experiences that are both on DMT. Well, it seemed like hours. Thank God DMT is only 5 to 15 minutes in general. Most of them, thank God, because I go to these places where I'm seizing for minutes, like completely seizing, like scary shit. Like if you're by yourself, you don't understand what's going on. If you see somebody else seizing, like
Right, you realize.
have you guys ever seen that? Where like I know you have,
Ask Paula.
and you guys both have from your, especially now doing
You
sessions
You
with
were
people.
here
Yeah.
and watched me literally seize up and flop like a fish on the floor.
Yeah, well, also me too. I'm
You
kicking
know
my
what
feet.
was
You had
happening
to
to
lay
me
me
in that hell
down.
realm? I was watching my closest people be raped and eaten in front of me. And then I was like, oh, don't do that. Just take me, leave them alone. They were like, don't worry, bitch, you're next. Your time's next. And this fucking lizard grabbed me, picked me up, slammed me on a table, and my chest was opened. In 1 second, this all happened. That's how fast it is. And they were doing all kinds of terrible things. And then I was just
Oh, I
reborn
lost
again.
the top.
Instantly was in a place of peace and complete awesomeness. So it shifted 100% passing through that.
So focusing on some of these places that are just like, I go through these amorphous trauma seizures. There's no lesson. There's no beings I'm talking. There's no concept. It's just seizuring trauma, right? And then a similar experience with I had just for 5 hours earlier this year of just 5 hours of just trauma, amorphous trauma. There's no specific trauma. It's just like,
well, you're doing when you're doing Aya and stuff, and
Yeah.
and so since it's so advanced, it's not like you're healing just you here. You're
Healing
healing
you there
your-
and you everywhere.
your
Right.
Yeah.
fractals, your ancestors. Like,
so here's the thing. I understand on one hand, this is the interesting part of it too, is in talking to him, can you help me, like you're saying, talking to the ahead of time, can you not help take me to the hell realms? I don't know why I put that out. There's more there.
And you're high.
You want me
I
to
was
tell you
I was
why?
asking you.
Oh, that
I
too.
was wondering why
Why?
too.
no,
No,
Wait,
I
tell
do it to him
I'll tell you right
too.
after.
Tell me right now.
Because you're an asshole. Because that's what he says to me when I do it. He calls me an asshole.
Because you're a fucking ass.
No, I'm kidding. You're not an asshole.
Sometimes
That's how she talks to me when you're not around. See?
Oh,
You just
shut
have to
up.
put it out.
Listen, don't asshole gets it last, I guess. All right, that's fine. It's fair.
Take it.
No,
That's fair.
you why? You
Take it.
want some? You
No,
just put it
no, that-
out.
it's-
You're the one that put it out.
I
You
know
get
that's what I'm
none.
saying. That's
No.
what I'm saying. It's
See,
the
I
proper
told you,
etiquette. I
You
corrected
guys
myself.
don't know, man. When you guys aren't around,
Oh,
it's just-
so I'm gonna finish this question too.
You shut
Okay, hold on. Stay there. Don't click anything. I love when I say, "Hey, I want to finish this question." You literally go to move it to change it to some other
Come
thing.
on,
No, change it.
Tell me all about
All right.
it.
All right.
Hey, look,
So on some of those, though, I can't think coherently other than I know I'm inexperienced. I know it probably ended 5 hours. This is interdimensionally awful right now. You can go through all these different thought processes, but like there's different times where the only thing that I can pay attention to, or I choose to pay attention to, is my breath, and every single moment of the inhale and feeling it through like every cell in my body.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
And pausing at those moments in between. And I feel like that can go on infinitely in these crazy spaces of clarity, even while my body's seizing. And then the inhale or the release out, and then the top of the breath, and just like go into my breath. And I've been able to revisit, I think, because of experiences like that, in a positive way, I can revisit when my breath saved me. Like, right, we get experience where Jesus saved me at church, or some dynamic, or whatever, some light being, or whoever takes credit for saving you instead of you saving yourself. Right. So it's just a really, really cool way to experience that dynamic. Also, what happened?
What's happening to you? Really? Look at you. You're like
it's
MacGyver.
It's after I touched it. My bad, bro.
Why?
Bro.
You didn't break it.
I know.
No, he didn't break it. It just fell off the piece. The whole thing.
Yeah, but I totally.
You got it.
It's all good. Space Jesus, turn the
Hurry up, his
microphones
tender
into
hands
wine.
can't hold it much longer.
Microphones into a theoretical wine. The theoretical translator coming online.
So I want to say to
Paula
everyone,
is so divine.
naturally, if you have questions, I'm sure you're gonna have comments. Look at us, but
What? Come on, guys, let's go. Let's
it's
hang out.
not always about underground bases and Trump arresting people in the background, because it's not him. It's like a military operation, if that's what's happening, and we're not being sucked down the vortex into a deeper hole. But if that's what you feel that's happening, you might not be in the same frequency as a whole bunch of other people who feel complete opposite, where they feel that this is going to work itself out, since I can't get down there myself and do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
We were looking at the crowd, and I was always in crowds as a kid, like everywhere. Right? We looked at the crowd at the Capitol, and we were like, "What's the first thing you thought?"
Oh my God, there were so many people there.
But what if you were standing right there, and you're like, "Where's the bathroom?"
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I said.
There's no
Where
food,
would I go to the bathroom?
There's no water. There's no bathroom.
I could deal with no food for a while. I could deal with no water for a while.
But you're gonna have to pee as soon as we're in the
I
middle of
am
that
gonna
fucking
have
crowd.
to. I always have to. Sorry, I always have to pee.
Sure, you
So
want to the mic towards you.
The microphone.
You know what? I don't need to
Seems a
take
little
this
snarky. I
shit
don't wanna
from the
pour it
both of
again.
you.
See,
No,
told you.
I'm kidding.
Fucking told you.
I fight it. I
Keep on
don't know what I
He's
need.
a shotgun mic. So it's like,
What?
hello everybody.
No, I don't want it.
You don't want it?
I'm
No,
so
it's too small. Huh?
no, I'm good. I'm
Oh,
really
people
good.
in there,
I'm
fucking
good.
white
That's too
privilege.
short.
Holy
That's too short.
Oh my
Welcome to the
God.
show.
Listen,
I'm
that's too
done.
hard.
I've had enough.
That's too
Thank
short.
you.
That's too short for
I
me.
didn't
There's
say-
rappers that are called too
But
short that
can you
make
shotgun
fucking
that to me? I think that's the right length.
millions.
I actually don't want. No, it's not. Oh, you could do it. Yeah. Oh,
Hurry up. Don't waste it. Come here. Hurry up. Do it again.
oh my God! We just have three.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Three-way shotgun.
That's
Cool.
wonderful.
You
Thank
drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy.
Ba-da-bum.
You have to expand now. It's time to not worry about the bullshit and get on with what makes your life better. It is time for you to take it to the next level. Inside of taking that shit to the next
Yeah, you
level
gotta
is where
push
you
through
will
it.
find, on the inside of you, when you start making the connections, the ETs are there. The
Remember,
inner
Jesus
Earth's
is your
there,
breath.
the truth is there.
Buddha is your
Your
breath.
breath
that's how I
is the
feel. That's how I
only
feel it
thing that's going to help you in
'Cause I
any
use my breath too.
situation, because
But
it
I'm a heavy
calms
breather.
or
That's how I get
excites
back.
or keeps you in the command control of your vehicle. So while you're under Aya or for
anything.
me, or anything, right? I'll go,
Yeah, that's what I do.
and then she'll go, calm down, and then I'll go take a long deep breath,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll let it out. And I'm making all these stupid faces. And I'm flopping on the floor, and it goes from flopping to just some kind of Egyptian like,
Yeah.
like I'm in it, and I'm in not control of it, but in control of me not bugging the fuck out. That's the part, like the shaking and not being able to handle. I get it. A lot of us, I could speak for categories and levels, because now I could walk into those realms where prior, just the thought of the portal opening and me seeing someone on the other side of it was making me feel like I had a heart attack. So there's levels of us unlocking our physical framework, passing the trauma, healing it, to get it to stop shaking. It'll do different things at different points.
Well, and also, like, it is doing the work. Is part of it. It's like, I know. So part of it's like, I know it's actually moving the trauma out, but I'm in this shitty ass place. I don't have some cool story of like facing my trauma, like some Mama Aya showing me this. No, I'm just seizing.
Yeah, I'm just in the grass rolling around, like,
and it's
losing my
great.
shit.
And it's like there's some, but then focusing on my breath, so it expands that. And there are moments of like profound clarity, even during those times, for sure, of other things that really touch on totally other threads.
And you come back.
Yeah, but no, at the same time, I'm acknowledging. No, I know I've talked about this at length, different times, different people. What do you mean by bad trip? Like elaborate. So when you can find some way to make a connection for you, I understand it's healing trauma in my body. It's releasing it. I'm choosing to put my foot on the accelerator by doing this DMT or something. I'm choosing to do that. I have the choice, my free will, my conscience, my soul.
I get it. You take ownership.
But sometimes we push that gas, and I've certainly done this at times, pedal too fast that traumatizes our avatar. There's so many people
Which
here.
is
like,
why you have to do it responsibly.
Right, but so many people are just walking bags of nervous systems. That's why I realized at the airport, because the whole culture at the airport I was at,
I agree.
Doesn't matter what city you're in, but it has its own culture. I'm like, they're not even like the souls aren't even present. Now that it's a Gnostic thing, you have to earn your soul and like shit. But like,
I agree.
They don't. There's no space for their soul. They're literally programmed. All they are programs. That's all there are bags of nervous systems. It's crazy.
Well, as we begin to see it on that level, and your awareness of it, you realize, man, it's kind of lonely out here. You almost feel like you're the only one that's got a spark. And then you show up here and you're like, oh, you know, thanks, Space Jesus, there's fucking sparks. And then you go back out into the world.
I was in a situation where I felt my, you know, when you say everyone has this inner light, and I felt my light, and I felt it getting brighter and brighter. And as it was getting brighter, I was at a friend's family picnic. I felt moths to a flame, and it was weird, and I was like, I can't stay here anymore. The energy was not meshing with mine, and I started talking a little bit about what goes on, and people were not even,
they can't figure,
they were not even
you like, what
the fuck? It was like,
oh, you're a weirdo,
huh? And then but wanted to know more, like, why do I look so young, and what are my skin, what's my skin regimen, and how much water do I drink? And it's like, that's not it. You're seeing this light, and you're feeling this feeling, and you want to eat it. You want to eat that energy.
That lizard showing up. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how I got here, but it tastes good.
You want, I don't know what this is, but I want to be near it because I like the way I feel.
Yeah.
Right. So you could even be sounding like the weirdo, but yet everyone.
Exactly. I don't know why I want to be near it, but I do.
Like,
it's like that thing. Oh, I just want to touch it. I don't know why. I just have to touch it. You know, and you do.
She's taking a piece of that energy, which is draining. Because you
exactly,
you know, you're like, oh, I know this person, and these people are their family.
Exactly.
And before
it's
you
weird.
know it, you're just drained completely. Yeah. And it's like, all right, I got to go into the.
No, I turned on. I did.
So this is why community living could be so fun, because you just have enough people that you all spark each other. That's why you're attracted to that same community, and however that works.
Well, we're doing it right now.
It's very funny that you keep saying that, because
Fearless Family's in the house.
What's up?
I love it when people come. I love to host. I love to, you know, make something that you like.
Hey, dude,
to eat, you know, whatever. I love it, but at the same time, I could be alone, days, weeks, months, not talk to anyone, and I'm okay with that too. And
Frank loves it when you share your day with him.
I get dinged for that all the time. Like, he hates it when I go down for like 8 or 9 hours in a row and then get up and then go back down. He's like, where's my Paula? It's terrible. It's terrible for him. And I know that, but there's nothing I can do about it. You know?
That's the thing. I know we're shifting and moving because I've woken up into is this the right timeline? Am I in the right place? What year is this? Right. I pull that one fucking thing and I look over at you first. And I'm like, I see a cat, and then I'm like, hey, Paula, da-da-da-da-da. And if she answers me weird, I'm immediately like, are you my Paula? Like,
yeah.
Where is she? What are you doing with her? I'm gonna fucking choke it out of you too if you don't fucking tell me. I get into it. I don't actually do anything like that, but we have fun because we know what's going on. You know, one time you went through that with me.
Oh, I went through it with you.
I went through that with you, and then
it wasn't me. I knew I wasn't. Whoever it was not supposed to be here, and I was like, "This is my fucking life. I live here." The third
day I woke up, because it was one night was you, one night was me. I felt just like you said. It didn't feel right. And then the next day I woke up, and it was like I woke up from a dream of the last couple of days where I couldn't find my Paula, and my situation, which is Optimum.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was that's fright. See, it blends, and sometimes people can't handle that shit. They go in this fucking psych ward.
Frank, I
lose their mind and run naked in the street.
Aaron, I woke up. I hated my life.
I was naked in the
when
backyard yelling up.
This was like a year ago. It was like a couple of days. We had a.
Paula, why'd you hate your life?
Put your pants on. You're scaring your grandmother.
I don't think I was. I think I was in the wrong timeline, and I think it was a part of my consciousness that knew that, because I woke up and I was like, "This is what I fucking
didn't
live."
feel right, and me was looking at her. Going,
we have all these. We have all these fucking
Yeah.
cats. Like, this is my responsibility every fucking day, and I was like, "Wait a minute, something's wrong with this. I should love this. I hate this. Like, what do I hate about this? Is it me that I hate? Is it my life that I hate? No, I didn't hate it yesterday. Why do I hate it today?"
Yeah.
And then I went back to sleep, and I was like, woke up again, and I was like, nope, it's still not. It's I'm still in the wrong place.
Yeah. Maria's talking about it too. That kind of show.
It was a couple of days.
No doubt. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Like code words.
And I was like, just stay away from me.
What's crazy now, understanding that paradigm, looking back, I thought about this before, but in a past relationship I was in, after giving years of dialogue at different esoteric things like progression and thought, because you have to be able to like understand, like, no, that can't be real, maybe it is, and then it opens you up to other things. So then years of like a baseline, cool. So you have a shorthand. Overnight, gone. Reacting to me really like weird, because I'm the one overnight understand all this shit, and then a weird like, you're a weird conspiracy. What do you mean? We've been both kind of on the same path for years. It literally overnight, her nervous system just like reset, like timeline totally different. And I'm like, what? Damn it!
So
no, it happened.
Dare I say the archons, in a general rule, speaking of reptilians through grays, to this, to that, whatever, all of them would do that to us. I watch them do it. I watch them go, like, you're coming in at night from a dream, and they just see the string of the timeline and then just push a different one in front of you, and you just hit it and wake up, and you're like, oh, I gotta pee, and now you're there, and you're like,
so how do we establish more sovereignty during our dream time? You can do things like put intentions and crystals and things around the bed.
We do. There are all things around the bed.
All right, and then you can have things like cats, like you guys, man, just have those cats around.
You can
it's
tell
so cool
also,
for your dream worlds and all that shit.
It's
fantastic.
When you're good, your animals are good, because when you're in the right frequency, when you're in the right frequency, the cats want to be in the same frequency with you. When you're in the wrong frequency, they'll run. There's no one around. So like everything's vibing tonight because they're all here.
1, 2,
and that's
3,
how
4,
you know things are okay.
5,
Because
6,
when this
7,
is not
8.
happening, you have to be concerned. Something's going on with you.
Yeah.
You know, and then like when he gets crazy, I'll say, look at what you're doing. They're all running for the hills. And then he's like, okay, let me check myself. Like, I'm not mad. And he'll say, I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you. I'm telling a story. And it's like, you have to find a different way to tell that story, because you're scaring the hell out of them. And it's not you, it's your frequency is changing because the story you're telling.
Dude, Bill Burr does an awesome shtick on that one. Like,
oh yeah,
he's teaching his dog.
Oh, his dog, yeah.
Down. He's realizing the dog's getting amped up because he's amped up.
Yes.
Watching the football stuff.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
You know, and I tell him that all the time, and his cat gets like that too. His cat's very pensive. When he gets very pensive, his cat gets very pensive, and it's like she's picking it up from you. And he was like, I'm just telling stories. And I was like, you need to do it in a different way.
It's not about
what
saying.
I did. I came in and I didn't have a bad day. I was just amped up. So now I'm telling a story, and then they all get scared of me and they all run, and then they all come back once my frequency changes. And then once I hit the what is this called?
The sonic slider.
Sonic slider.
Baby.
Once I hit the sonic slider, you saw it all stopped. Everything stopped.
Sorry. So one of the things really quick I just want to add to this is learning a mantra or some hand dilations and like little things that you can do, and they could be your own made up ones. The last one I think I talked about on the last show, when I was going under, I was trying to stay clear. They were like, yo, we don't want you to think of anything. We want you to submit but not be submitted. Do you understand? I'm like, oh, okay. So I said, call me Chief Hollow Bone. I'm hollow on the inside, spitting energy out at you one at a time. And then I looked like I was loading this hollow bone with energy, shooting it at people, but it was very limited. It was just like, and then I was like, all right, you need to slow that down.
Right.
So now when you feel it, I got twice the amount after giving it all away for free. And then someone goes, hey, that's a great idea. And I went, what? And my mind stayed blank. And then I went, oh, I need something a little better than this. And I said, oh, we just watched Star Wars. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Right.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. And this fucking dude, a regular human, as if I was laying in a pod and he was looking in at me. He fucking looked in and goes, and he had something in his hand too. He looked in and goes, "Oh, I'm one with the source. The source is with me. Hi." And then he just bounced out. And I went, "Hey, that guy was human."
I bet you he's in the ship.
And I asked them if they brought me into the ship or did the ship descend around the house, since the house isn't actually fucking there. And they were like, either way.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, what is that? And they're like, where's what? I'm like, the truth in this.
I would not be surprised.
And they go, it's from whichever truth, whichever direction you're looking at it is correct. And I went, are you fucking serious? So me saying I'm on the ship is true. With you, true. But you also brought it down around the house, but I'm also in it and up in the sky with you because nothing's really there to begin with. So they're like, true. If that's where you're looking from. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, and you start to realize there's no silver bullets no more.
No.
You have your own fucking truth.
Your own imagination.
It's all you, baby. Everyone's in a different universe, and meaning you're in the university at a different level in a different class, in a different session, in a different. That's
like
why
what we
you
talked
don't
about.
funk with certain things. Maybe you're not ready for it, or maybe you just had enough of it.
And like, look, everybody's different, man. There's like different the Arcturian, Pleiadian dynamic to simplify it, Lyrian, or just people who resonate with more one of the characteristics of those species based on channeled or collective experience or shared experiences under different entheogens or psychedelics.
I went through the Pleiadian stuff, and then it turned into Arcturian stuff, and I've seen the different, the way they think over the way they think, and then the way I think, and then I put it into perspective. And yeah, you were this, you were that, you were this, you were that, but now you're this.
Yeah.
Remember how the lion being thought, I'll just bite your face off, and he had to go, well, I'm not going to bite no one's face off.
Well, but it's also like those base frequencies in a creative context where I realized, okay, that's a part of me. Like in my own meditations, I've seen stuff built into my DNA skin suit tech, right? So when I bring awareness of an image in my imagination of like a past lifetime, and we're building into my DNA this like cool sternum device that I can release out, like that scorpion thing we throw out back in the day. Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, right?
Get over here.
Yeah, that guy Scorpion, right? Yeah. So like that shit. But it also can run out and create these circuits and these fields and circles, like does all this interdimensional shit, right? But I realized it's Arcturian technology. I put it into this skin suit to access in this way, interdimensionally, and then more and more that'll solidify. But it's a tool I can use to do a myriad of things. And so I've creatively been able to use that. So I would say, yeah, like I'm aware of the Arcturian, what I best understand today as Arcturian based on my experiences and whatever. Then that's always growing and changing. But they seem to be consistent aspects with Arcturian.
Yeah, well, it's what you tuned into in your DNA that makes you feel best at the time. That's what I'm learning in the long run. So it's Pleiadian when it needs to be, and it's Arcturian when it needs to be.
Right.
And when
you humans, a whole other thing.
Yeah.
All that too.
Well, we're all human. That's the thing.
Yeah, because this is here most of the time.
You know, the crazy thing is, I just want to throw this out there that's really interesting, is that every time it's quoted, even from the collective or whatever, they're like, you know, there's 5 billion of you here. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. There's almost 8 billion people on the planet right now. Maybe going into 9. Right? And you're like, well, who are those other people? Well, you're all human. You're all having the human experience. Oh, snap. And they kind of leave it at that open-ended because we have so much shit here with us. Everyone's jumping in. And we're at the point where it would, the energy and the amount is the right mixture to pull in the highest energy, but too many more, it fails. Like if you had too many more, like it goes from 9 to 18 billion. Everyone's fucked. And if it goes down to low, you're just kind of ruining it for everyone that's here.
Yeah.
They can't handle the light because you need more because it's source energy, source. So they pump light beings in one after another, and we're just grounding in different locations around the earth. And we're here. We're here. It's a tipping point now, everyone. What you saw on the news, just getting everyone online. If it goes from 27%, you only need 51. It goes to 28, 29. Aaron shows up. We do a show. Tick, tick, tick. And some of you, it jumps at 30%. And it tick, 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 tick. Society does all kinds of shit. Bombing. It's fake. This happens. Fake. This happens. So is this real? I don't know. UFOs, maybe. Project Bluebeam. You start getting click, click into the same mind space of people are thinking, yo, this shit's real and it's really happening. Arrests become being made, or you level up and have a Kundalini experience. It's all relevant.
Okay, so I feel like this is also relevant to the Architect's comment. He says, I don't like the walking bag metaphors I used when I said bags of nervous systems, walking bags of nervous systems. We are all divine, and this form is divine. People always calling these temples of God meat sacks. Frank, what are you doing, bro? I was reading that fucking comment. Jesus Christ.
That was the comment you were on?
Yeah, man. I was reading.
I'm sorry.
It's on screen. Where'd it go? It's there. Thanks. Meat sacks. I don't feel that the way the human incarnations are gifts. Okay, so I want to say, I completely understand, because when I originally heard DNA, or people call us meat sacks, human meat sacks, or DNA meat sacks, and like, yeah, I just felt that wasn't honoring the incredibly advanced technology that these vessels are. They are still vessels of our consciousness. I believe our consciousness projects into our body, that our vessels have unique signature frequencies of our heartbeat and our DNA lineage that actually contain, like if you're tuning into a radio station, this is the station of Aaron Kessler this lifetime, right? My nervous system has been programmed through my life experiences, but also as I become more self-aware through my choices of how I program myself. But so many people, like in the airport, I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's walking bags of nervous systems. And I don't mean that. I honor the technology their consciousness is in. But also there's only like 0.1% of their consciousness is even in them. They are programs. There's no thoughts of their own.
It's almost like they're walking dark monoliths.
It's not that they couldn't be. I'm not saying this is NPCs and whatever. It's a dumb mindset. I mean, it's really helped me on certain time, but people use it in weird polarities. So it's just understanding. And ideally, I've watched people be far more present just from your interaction with them, totally, and like, beautiful. Great. All that's true. So I just want to honor all of that. I think it's also true that some people really are walking bags of, they're utilizing the technology in a way. It's like you see people, I don't know, what's the thing, like buying some kind of car just to drive, some kind of fast car on a Lamborghini, whatever, some shit. And they never actually, well, that's fast as you've gotten it. I don't know, like 60 on the freeway. It's just my town car. Like, you're not utilizing that shit, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, you got it.
You don't even know.
And you're not rocking it.
Yeah. So like that's seeing these programs who just like don't even know. So.
Well, that's what happens. And you know what? They whether they're real or background or this or that, we'll just say they're real. They're in their university, where it's their time to
2 hours, 34 seconds, 56.
It's their thing to go dark like that, to be the example for us moving through up on this turn. And then they'll get their chance. And it's just as Ra from, shout outs to Ra, Eye of Ra, would say, spiral out. Right? That's what that is. Everyone's doing that inside of the big one. Right? So it's like one big spiral, and then
well, then I guess it's a good thing to identify, because you have to sometimes, right, the spiral
moving around infinitely
straight up can look like the snake eating its own tail from straight up, the spiral. Mm-hmm. But if you see it from the side, then it's actually moving up. You can't say tail that head on.
Sphere. And inside that sphere, you're allowed to live inside the flesh suit in creation and have these experiences even out of the flesh suit, where you're helping those with the flesh suit, and you're fractaled out throughout in there. It's all groovy, man. I find that all of that is real. So your version, my version, this version, that version.
It's right.
It's all good.
Dude, I'm telling you, there are, if you want to call them star seeds, kids. I just met somebody recently, she's like 22. And hearing just her tell her story and her dynamic, because the dabs brought us into a really cool conversation right away. It's fantastic. And her, she's born similar to the way I was, but she's 12 years younger than me. Where her left and right brain were born using those at the same time, which is like one, as I understood it, this big thing I found out years ago. That was like 1 of 12% of the population born doing that from birth. So more. Whatever every experience I had was more shared between both sides, whereas most people in general, are more petitioned towards the masculine or feminine stereotype, left or right brain.
Why do you think they're trying to just outright murder all the kids and with vaccinations? Because it disrupts what you're discussing.
There's so much.
It literally
don't get me started on birth trauma.
Don't get me started. Well, you know what I mean. So they attack that. So because the star seeds are pouring in,
I know,
and they're like, let's just get all of them in swaths.
Look, so I've seen that because of the birth trauma shit, and it's always been like, okay, guys, I know you're here. I know you're here. These, and I mean like the next generation too. So it's so cool to see her so much younger in a place where I'm like, dude, you're already on the level in ways that I didn't realize that I was waiting for someone to be on that level until you hit those places.
Yeah,
like,
me. And I'm at
cognitively, whatever.
47, and how old are you?
34.
And then work your way back.
She's 22. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Dude,
and
and the
then
way
my
her
nephew
mind works,
my
I'm
niece
like,
is open.
the way she understood, but also not just like things in the universe, which totally like she understood the way she started to process a lot of shit. She gets it. Like, how do you get it? You're 22. How are you? Like, she's old soul. Like, totally right. That's in it. Like, how do you do get it?
They
It's not
have
just a
more
concept.
open, unlocked DNA, literally. But
Dude.
it took me to drink ayahuasca in my late
Well, and a lot of people,
30s
man,
to
people have no
get the
idea. Just
left-right brain
vaccines they've had in
process.
life so far, the actual birth traumas, it shuts us off from a lot of our own DNA. We have a lot of trauma of separation, where I think people feel the LSD frequency, because it's been used for that, for dissociation of MK Ultra, or tried to be, depending on the story. You hear that maybe they couldn't use it because people eventually, the more you increase the dose, the more euphoric experience they had, they couldn't utilize to sever personalities and whatever.
Oh yeah.
But initially it was tried for
the
that.
higher
So like,
doses, you start giving us more. That's Io. She told me anything they're going to use against you will just make you stronger.
yeah.
And I'm like, what would they use against me? And it's always when I'm under. It's always when I'm doing this. It's always, and I'm like, oh shit.
So us doing a higher dose together, I think creating this realm where you see everything swirly, and it's just like your brain, your 3D brain, which is your avatar and your nervous system, which create your subconscious and creates your reality, whether you realize it or not. So if you keep encountering frustrating things, you are creating that somehow. How are you doing that? So your subconscious doing that?
Well, accessing those points within you will allow you knowledge on how to cut off acting like you're creating too much or not enough,
right?
Or these unwelcome thoughts. You get to pipeline it and control it. You're driving the car on that highway. You have to build a mental dominion for yourself. These are my highways, and they're supercharged highways, and I run the highway.
Yeah.
And I run the car, and my hand's on the wheel. And as you start building this, you become resisting dominion. They call it dominion in the comic books. Like, you just can't take Batman's mind, and they're like, why not? Because he doesn't think like you. He's a perfect human, right? So that reflects you and I, the perfect human. Oh shit! Look at this. So if I use my mind, I can't be mind controlled, hypnotized, taken over, and used as a pawn in a situation. So that's all we have been. That's the sickness, the parasites, the takeover. So we're resisting that on every level. And you're telling the devil, no, I don't think so. Not today, not ever again. And he goes, oh, fuck, he knows who he is. And it stops instantly.
Yeah.
And you go, and they test the walls a month later. And they go, hey, don't forget, you're a fucking piece of shit. Remember that. And it's like, no, you must be talking about yourself. Yeah. And they go, oh, shit, he still knows.
Here's the thing, like, you have those experiences a lot of times that entheogens help make the experience so sensory overload and visceral in your system that it can do a whole bunch of hypnotic work or hypnotherapy or mantra repeating just sober over and over 1,000 times can be like one experience, because it ingrains this into your nervous system, this positive experience or whatever you're trying to create.
Yeah.
And
I'll notice myself saying, love, I love you. I love you. Where I used to go, I'll fucking kill you right here. And they go, oh yeah, right. Come on, kill me.
Yeah.
And I'll go, well, I will. And they'll go, come on, do it. And they get bigger as you do that. And you kind of like, I'll fucking do it. I just go, I love you, man. And they go, come on, aren't you going to stab me? I'm like, nah, man, you want to hang out and maybe eat some cake? And they're like, this isn't working. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. The trick eventually reveals itself.
Yeah.
You outthink it. How did you do that?
Yeah.
You create the neural pathways, the ability to go in and breathe, and
believing in your imagination. Believing in your imagination. What you envision inside of you, the imaging nation within, or the eye magi, right? They're just creating your own magic within. I mean, it does create reality. So you can, your brain can't differentiate the difference, blah, blah, blah. I think most people understand the basic science of some aspect of visualization at this point. And so
you have to pull from everything.
You have to create experience in your vessel. You have to feel that future, right? Yeah. So proper visualization techniques help you understand that it's not just about making the vision board. It's not just about doing those things. What when you see that, how does it make you feel? So you live from that place as if it's already accomplished. So living through a place, like, who fucking cares about politics, man? Whatever happens. What are you doing in your life to help purify your body, help cleanse your food, your family, or get things in order? Like, if you can't carry your fucking bedroom, right? And this is me too. That so some of those traumatic experiences with ayahuasca and another one with mushrooms, there's just trauma, more trauma. And I knew, like, just feeling into it, there's no direct message or something, just like processing through those different layers. Yeah, I was breaking stuff off, but it was causing trauma to my avatar, to Aaron, to a point like, this isn't cool. This isn't cool to do to him. Like we're gonna chill, we're gonna integrate. People call it integrator at a bad trip. It's not a bad trip. It's just like I'm gonna make sure we do this in balance, and also realizing that my place isn't quite set up yet. I'm in a transition. I need to get things literally cleaned up, stripped down from the last season of my life. I need to get rid of like probably like 60% more of my shit at this point, and really trim down because I'm in a totally different season.
We're all doing that too,
right?
Just right on point with everything.
But set and setting too. I know when I do that, that's when I will feel. I can feel that is when I will feel. All right, time to do I again in my place, because then the energy's set for this new season I'm going into. Because I was doing it before then, all this clutter, it's just dissonant.
Yeah.
And so it causes
we
traumatic
just did that here
experience.
again. It's like, why are you taking everything apart, putting it back, and then throwing out 10 bags of garbage? It's because this shit's got to go, because now we feel good, we feel light. But that's literally the reflection of you turning into light, if that makes any sense whatsoever, right?
Bro, it does make sense. And let's get off our couches and our hypothesizing. Where's your mouse? Where'd it go? Oh, it freezes if you don't. I got you, bro. Anything jumping out at you?
No, I usually call silliness around this time so we can hang out, because I only got you for a couple more hours. I don't want to spend it on air. I want to eat more food and smoke more weed and shit. So
yes, me too.
I want everyone. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see. Let's get you.
Yeah, look, I look down everything as the creator. I am all, right? So anything that you say that is less than that makes no sense to me. But now I go into the trip with that. So if I'm under and the mushrooms are like, hey, yo, you got to go through this orange door over here, or you're not going to be the creator. You'll never get your power back. And I'm like, I'm already my power. You need to get the fuck out of here. And it's like a test. And then you get rid of that thing. And that thing could be like a shitty neural pathway. Something that just needs a highway that in your mind that needs to close down so we can open the new highway. You need to purge yourself of the parasites.
Well, just knowing you have to change.
Below.
So like changing, like understanding. Oh shit, my bad, bro.
You can actually take it over there.
Yeah, I was trying to grab it.
I didn't need to take it over
there. Trying to grab it, your mouse gently.
Well, be careful because you have giant fucking.
I didn't want to break it in half. Big ass hands. 2 knuckles deep. You're not gay, bro.
Yeah, it's only if you make eye contact.
That's right. and only if you're on the giving end.
If there's a mirror on the wall and you look into the mirror and back and behind you and then into the eyes, is that weird?
That's fascinating.
That's like
that's fascinating.
Reflect.
That's fascinating. I don't know about erotic, but that's fascinating. Like the thing about on psychedelics too, like holy shit, man.
I'm me and you're you, and then we're all one. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, I don't know. See, and that's really like I choose to be hyper aware and conscious. Like there's like, oh, we're gonna pretend to dissociate now so we can go do weird impulsive shit.
Listen, keep it unconfusing. You are all, right? Look, Josh Carruthers says this constantly. All, right? Yeah, but okay. Take it from the perspective of being all. You never have to worry. It's all here for me. What are you going to do to me? Well, I'll fucking kill everyone here. No, you won't. Well, but I'll scare you into... No, you won't. I'm literally all. You're one thing. And we're all connected. So that makes you my kid, my bitch, my thing, whatever. And you're going to fucking change your tune, or I'm going to change it for you. Because you're in my space. You got to start thinking like, and it took me years to build this up. I didn't just start talking shit and become fearless. I still get afraid. I saw the spherical UFO and my first thought was to run. That freaked me out. But when I didn't know they come like that, even though I've been in spheres. I didn't know that you could just dark them out and blurt and move that quickly in a circle. Okay. I was freaking out. But
the show is,
and then I just looked and went, I'm going to look at this. I'm not going to not look at the truth.
Looking at me.
I am looking at you, bro. Because it's the fucking truth, motherfucker. I feel this bro thing kind of like Hulk Hogan and fucking Mr. T at WrestleMania, kind of weird shit. But look,
it's going down.
They don't even know, motherfuckers. So You got
Give me
to
Slim
believe in yourself. If you start from the point of all, there is nothing less. So when you're looking
So
at
any
something that's trying to
situation
scare
that
you,
any
you
situation
gotta-
that you pop into, dude, George Cavazos tells an excellent story, just fucking so resonated with me. He is an abduction story, and he's like kind of waking up, kind of what the fuck, but they're not used to them waking up. He's supposed to kind of be out, but because of his level of sovereignty, just he kind of was aware when he wasn't supposed to be, and immediately they're freaking out. But his instant like reaction, soul reaction, was to immediately go to who the captain of the ship was. It was a reptilian. Just bypass all that other shit, go through the walls, right into the reptilian, right into his heart, because now they violated his sovereignty. He has the right to go into the core of the matter, and he just chose to go in this way, and just like, understood what the intentions were, but just showed him the core of his heart, this reptilian, all the way back to a place where like he was then be able to make his own choices and like ascend and all this other shit. But this like beautiful dynamic, no matter where he woke up or in what situation he found himself, and he at a core level, and this is where our responsibilities over time to understand who you are and how to stand in your sovereignty. So visualizations have worked really well to me. They've come naturally at the time, or can be repeated, but like channeling the sunlight from our sun, central sun, my soul, through every chakra, if you will, and emanating from my heart and just pulsing that out. And it creates a realm of sovereignty that for me works most of the time in those dynamics. But yeah.
I tried to show the reptilians when they wouldn't leave me alone. I just went, yo, I'm literally one of you. And they were like, you're not a reptilian in a human body. Like, they were like, you're not one of us. I go, no, I'm the all, which makes you a part of me. Look at my DNA. And they go, oh, he has reptile in his DNA. And I go, and what do you guys do to your boys? To your boys? They were like, nothing. I go, okay. And they were so confused because look at me. I look like Frank the Ape, and then there's the light being. So they're like confused completely. And I'm like, look at me. Don't look inside of me. And they were like, bro, he's the all. And they were all down and then just bounced. And I never dealt with them again, ever. They never came back. And if they did, it's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, I'm talking about those big reptilians that kind of frightening. We all still have our problems one way or another. Like, I don't deal with AI often, but it's always there, and I have to purge it. Just
I had
like
one.
everyone else does.
I had one like where I woke up in this like seizure state, or this awareness of this reptilian stepping on my feet and all these grays around, and it was this place of like just trying to even be conscious in that like trying to wake up, kind of, right, knowing I was in this place and like constrained and not supposed to be waking up. Maybe it was enough that I was able to like from whatever heart, gut, just some core place, emit the frequency of I do not consent. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I do not consent. And I remember too, I had to do it a few times, kind of like stretching on a cocoon maybe or whatever, but like you believe it enough, or repeat mantras, it changes your nervous system, you get into a chant, a brainwave state, and you go, I do not consent. It's just a pulse.
I had
like Neo
sleep
saying no,
Polaris,
but not saying shit.
You ever wake up and can't move for a minute?
Yeah, no.
Okay, I had that, and then dudes were trying to touch me recently
Yeah.
in my dream, and I could not move, and I knew I was in my bed,
Yeah.
and I did exactly what you said. It just kind of came out differently. I was like, nope, this will not happen to me.
Yeah.
I need me back now. And then like on the third one, my arm moved, and then I was like, this feels so weird. Boom, and I was, holy shit. That was the first time that's ever been happened to me, because every other time I can't move.
Yeah.
And I cry like a bitch.
Yeah.
But nothing comes out. It's very frightening and weird. And we can override it.
And what interesting thing, because in that moment you're pulling, what are you doing? Saying me more, me now. You're like almost pulling more conscious awareness of yourself into that vessel or that fractal, instead of it severing off or dissociating or being shut down. You're pulling more into it to pulse into them, like shock their whole system.
It's almost like asking Source for a little extra light, right? And
but it's just you're bringing your awareness by choice to this fractal, and it just starts filling it up, charging it like a capacitor until it just fucking explodes.
Yeah, you pop.
Passed away.
You pop, but it doesn't hurt you. It disrupts everything that's being done to you.
Yeah.
These are things you should learn, right? Things like violet flame, right? And white light. If you use them in coordination with each other, you pretty much mess everything up. And anything that's fucking with you. You can change outcomes with your imagination. You can outwit and out-trick those that are outwit and out-trickable. You're the all. And every time I beat one of them, I say, how did you have a plan on defeating Source? And they're like, I was trying to defeat you. I'm like, okay, I'm Source, though. And they were like, oh no. I'm like, yeah. Oh, we're doing this without skin. Okay, look. Peekaboo, it's me. Okay, that's it for me for today. And they run. They run. And the ones they think they get you off guard, they get you sometimes. Yeah. I take shots all the time, man.
So organic portals, soulless meat bags. So it's interesting too. Think of Matrix. Like if they're not awoken, they're not unplugged. They're part of the system. Like think about even the stuff that's gone on politically too. They're just so many people are just programs, and they may have more of a soul there, but there's primarily programs. Oh well, they need to run their course, man. But then people need to reprogram. Stop believing in a politician. Stop believing in Black
Yeah, you got to
Federation
go
Light. Stop
through
believing in someone to
your
save you.
deactivation into your reactivation, right? You
Right.
purge the chemical and
It's inner ascension.
they might not be doing it this round. They might be literally, you call them soulless, but there's something running it for sure. So let's say there's a soul in there, so there's a little dot of light, a point of light, and everything else is dark. It looks like the monolith just walking around, like the phone just moving through the day. And you're like, how could this be possible? And they just go on and die one day and whatever. When they come back in, they're going to get their opportunity because someone wears the outfit for us now. We wore it for them, vice versa. We used to wear the masks for each other. Now we taking them off. That's why this is all being revealed. No more masks. I'm the creator. You're the creator. You're the creator. You're the creator. You're the fucking creator. You're the all. But what about, yeah, but you're the all. How would you handle that? Well, but that's a lot of response. How would you handle it? You're the all. Well, they're all here for you, for me. We're the all, though. They can't do anything.
Nathan said the one and only sleep paralysis experience I had, I called Jesus into the space, and it bounced the fuck out ASAP. So here's the thing. I think this is there's a really cool song by, what's this rapper? He's Native American, does this cool kind of modern native, but modern EDM mix rap things. Anyway, but I've seen demons cast out in the name of Jesus. Was it the name?
I'm gonna just tell you that just worked.
Well, yeah, but he's by saying was it the name or just the good intentions? So some shit like that. But here's the point. You are the placebo belief catalyst. You're the engine that creates reality. So if you believe this name will save you, when you say it and call out, even if it works, it fucking works, man. But I've gotten so different. That's a symbol set that gets you to connect to you.
People from India will shout out to Shiva and it'll work, right? They don't shout to Jesus, but those who are Catholic and Christian will shout to Jesus and it'll work. But those who believe in, I don't know, Odin shows up and it fucking works.
Yeah, whatever
works,
man.
Whatever your belief
whatever
system
changes your nervous system, so you can have an experience that's different than traumatic one experienced in the past or something you've never experienced before. You have to experience it. That can happen through visceral meditation, but visualization, but also through entheogenic experiences or life experiences. Just having healthy experiences, fun experiences with people. So reach out,
and then we're back to just have a good time.
Connect. Yeah, man.
Connect. It's crazy.
Co-create.
Create. That's the one thing Source said to me is, why are you not creating? That's all I want to know. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. They're like, oh, you're in charge of that with you. And I was like, oh, fuck, I fucked this up, didn't I? He's like, nope, you're awake now, right? I'm like, I'm very awake. Yeah, I think I could do this. Boom, back in my body. Let's do this. And I'm like, wow, it's like a whole lot of hard work. Put my feet to the beat. All of a sudden, obstacles start falling away. As soon as I stopped fearing them, they fell away. You guys spent years, a lot of you listening to the story, being part of the story, and watched me lose fear of paperwork, lose fear of stupid shit, literally walk through and fight the demon, cast the demons out, help other people cast their demons out, on and on, etc., etc.
Oh yeah, I was a long time listener, first time caller when I talked to you.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Right?
Now you're a long time listener, multi-time caller on my podcast.
Yes.
Cool. Create, man, just create shit. Put videos up yourself. Have fun doing shit.
Let's stop putting Judgy McJudge restraints on the ideals behind what can help and what cannot help.
Don't
right? Yeah,
Jesus
time. Works, and when Jesus doesn't work, man, act like John Constantine. What would he do? Well, he'd smoke a cigarette. He tried 10 different things for 10 different versions of the 10 steps of hell because there's just basically a handful of them that do all the same shit. They're just making copies of themselves. You find that out. You just flip. Oh, it's you, motherfucker. Guess what? Cake, blap. Move on to the next thing. Okay, there's other times where you're just hyper respectful. Thank you, Hanuman, for helping me. I appreciate that. You think you could teach me how to do that so I don't have to call on you every fucking time? But until then, could I call on you? Can we be friends? Can we do this? And then you just use your discernment. And then the next thing you know, you're learning. I'm like, teach me so I don't need to call you. Why do I gotta bother fucking Shiva, Jesus, Lucifer,
Because
this
I
one, that one, this
want
one to learn?
you to want
Like,
me.
if you're so good, but you're in a weird situation and you're not
need
sticking up for
me.
yourself,
Paula,
who the fuck do you think you
I
want in your corner
love
for 5 minutes
you love me.
to
Hey,
teach you how to be a fucking
what's next one?
douche to
Beg
get
you to
out of the
beg me?
situation? Stand up for yourself
Beg
and be real, but also
you to
be the
beg me.
person that you need to be to get out of the situation, which is really crazy sometimes because we see fucked up situations all over the place. So you dip into the other characters. You can do that. I don't suggest always doing something like that, but man, I don't know how to be dark, right? And it's time to be dark. I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, how do I do this? And it's like, well, you're going to have to do what you have to do. And it's like, see, I don't let that overtake me. I'm just listening or to whether it's my higher self, the other character. I'm like, oh, is that what you do?
Dude, the same principles totally
I don't
apply.
let it overtake me. I just, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that, but now I do.
What really helped me in the Christian paradigm in certain regards, Dan Duvall's got some material and other things about understanding the interdimensional realms of the kingdom of heaven, but biblical paradigms laying out quantum physics realities that also parallel in all the traditions and whatever, at least in the ways that I've experienced them. That some of the principles there 100% apply thoroughly inside that in the Hebraic and the Kabbalistic paradigms because they understand the way the universe works and sound and frequency and intention and words that are spoken and how things work in 3D and all those dynamics. So each system does have tools to get you super connected to yourself. I think that's ultimately the goal. And then from there you can use them as symbol sets when they're relevant, but they're not the key. The only way I get to me is through Jesus. No, that's a way until you realize it's already in you. And so in the Christian paradigm in the New Testament, there's a differentiation between, now that you believe or now that you are in Christ and Christ is in you, that they're one and the same.
That guy isn't out there answering your fucking prayers. He doesn't do it. I'm sorry. He hears you just like everyone else hears you.
But she was saying, but Bella was saying earlier, like when he showed up, he's real. Well, you manifested him in a sense. Yeah, he's real, but your power brought him in because you decided he was more powerful than the demon.
Yes.
Or he just knew how to handle it. It's cool to call beings in. Be like, dude, I don't really know how to handle this. Like, hey, is there a light being out there? Somebody like knows how to handle this situation? Cool. Help me. Let's co-create. I want to watch what you do. And he does some shit. Like, that's fucking cool. I'm going to use that next time.
That's what I'm saying. You got to science this, right? So like I'll call to a character, hey man, it's a war. So you call in Hanuman, he comes in with the club, he starts macing people in the head, and you're like, wow, that's cool. Show me. Show me. And then he's like, demons fear me. Why do you not just call me in? I'm like, well, that's my paradigm. I'm not actually dealing with the demon. He's dealing with the demon. Oh, so you need Jesus. See, I didn't know that. I learned that during the experience.
No doubt,
and I was like, oh, so that works. Then they started showing me the vibrations of it. If you believe and say it out loud, it begins to work even harder, which is why these things just run. But you could be saying, say you didn't know who Jesus was, and you only knew who the pineapple was. And you only knew the pineapple gives life. And so you were like, buy the pineapple.
Dude,
it fucking works just as good as Jesus.
I think it's ingrained in your nervous system in the first 7 years. That's why they say in the Masonic traditions and the Jesuit traditions, if you get them before they're 7 years old, then you have them for life because they know that's when you can traumatize the brain enough to actually create totally fractal dissociative identities at the easiest before the brain changes around 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old.
Programming, reprogramming, unprogramming.
So we're programmed within the culture of our epigenetic expression. So the people ingrained, they didn't think they were affected or they didn't think they really needed Jesus or that was their belief system until they have this experience. So clearly there is things in your family or even from your grandparents that can find out now that influence at a core level how you feel at harmony with yourself, how you deal with guilt, shame, rejection, or whatever.
Agreed.
What is that, Paula? Paula,
No,
come over here. Paula,
I'm
come
sorry.
on, back on
I'm
screen.
sorry. I
You've been
had
here
to give Oscar his medicine because his mouth started hurting, but I had to
I watched.
Yeah, sorry.
You're okay?
Yeah. I'm just,
Well, we're gonna call it even now, so we're at the.
No. I agree with what Aaron says about it's ancestral. The way you handle things and the way you feel about things is ancestral. I totally. That's all I wanted to say.
You want to say goodbye to people on screen?
Oh, do I want to say goodbye?
Yeah.
So
goodbye.
We love you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Upgrade by getting into you more. Right? It could be anything. Just enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you know what you don't want. Move on to the next thing. Don't sit in the shit frequency.
Yeah.
Don't be a poop
Don't
container.
accept
And
what you don't
expect
want.
expect to find people that you're gonna click, and it's not doesn't even have to be romantic, or it doesn't matter. When you both like being around each other, you create things naturally.
Yeah.
Humor, but even more than that, even like some kind
Try
of cool
some
way
new
to
shit with some
do
new
things in the
people,
world.
or with yourself. Start like Paula would say, just plant something. Pet the cat more. Like you got the cat, you're gonna play with the video games, or you're gonna play with the cat. You're gonna play with the cat. The cat's gonna go to sleep in 10 minutes. So it's gonna play for 10 minutes hard, man, fucking hard, maybe even an hour. And after that, it's gonna sleep for fucking 10 hours. So you could go play your video games during that time, right? Or don't have the cat.
What was the comment in response to that? Lisa said, "So does a sack of shit." LOL.
I don't know. Lisa's probably going on. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. If you dig the show, if you dig the style, I know it's a little off color, off key tonight, but it's not, because this is new. Everything's changing. It's new.
Everything is changing.
It's time to be a little different. I can't sit up here and preach to you anything. I'm just me. I'm just Frank, Paula, Aaron, right? We all going just through Aaron. It. We're just doing it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's be the change. Look out for deception. Use your discernment. Don't believe anything coming out of the fucking scrying box, the scrying mirror, the fucking dark monolith. They own the horizontal and the fucking vertical. Take away that power from them. You become the power. Be like He-Man and She-Ra. I have the power.
I have the power.
Right? He-Man.
Who has Battle Cat? Is
He-Man.
that He-Man? Okay.
And Skeletor has the Panther.
Panther.
Shit, I can't remember, but it's the purple panther that he rides. He rides the purple.
What does She-Ra have? She has a cat too, right?
I don't know. To me, I think she's riding a unicorn. I think that'd be pretty sexy.
Are you making that up in your head? Or
I
is
think
that
so.
the way? Okay.
So.
Well.
Okay. Master of the universe.
You just put it into a huge vortex.
Thank you so much. If you're digging the style and what we do here, please like, subscribe, share, talk about, reference in some which way or another. So the only way that information gets out there is to share it with others. Don't be a fucking pussy. Just share it.
Also, if you feel like there is some,
down.
Listen, this is how you release people and their creativity in a way that may help yourself. All right, just letting you know the motives here I'm about to share.
You never know.
If you find anything in here that was a good clip, feel free to edit it and also throw that online. Just tag us in it or whatever. That's cool, man. You want to do micro content for us? Great. I've done that for people. I got Jordan Pearson clip I upload on my channel because it's so good. It's like 6 minutes of him talking. And he's younger at this conference, so passionate. It's great. All right, we're ending it. Sorry. Done.
No, it's all groovy. Don't forget to tune into Expanded Understanding.
Over here where Paula is.
No, you can't get over anymore. It's all right. There I am.
There she is.
Don't forget, when do you do your show?
All right, so we're in a bit of a transition right now for our show, me and Zach, but that'll be some things ramping up here in the next few months, and that'll be interesting. I think we're going to do more interviews with people and different ways of them just being creatively living their life for their expression.
Okay.
And different people may know or may have no idea about or whatever. But we have 100+ episodes. So we did like a 100-day push of doing it every night that went from anywhere from 3 to 7 hours for a while.
Yeah,
you guys were on different
macro
shows.
Content.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff that eventually we're going to cut in micro content and do a thing with.
You're going to cut it down, yeah.
Yeah,
eventually.
Topics, a lot of different information.
Yeah, just different
from all directions.
I mean, there's like caricatures in that too. Like, I've eaten ice cream on screen quite a few times. Like, there's a whole thread.
You get to watch everyone growing too.
Yeah, man.
Watching you.
Yeah, but I ran too.
A host of the show, and I was like, oh, look at him go.
Yeah, man, it's cool. And so like that's there. It's also kind of a network. So Angela's got her show, Women's Work, on the same channel.
Shout outs to Angela Miller for sure. Right.
Yeah, and Jen, Gently Healing.
Gently Healing for sure.
And then so there's other things going on, or as we go forward, how we are going to develop that out too. So multiple streams of just expression and creation. So if that resonates with you, go look into that. And if you have some kind of form of creation that you feel might be represented in something we do, shoot me a message, bro or gal.
Thank you so much, everyone. Remember, the universe rewards bravery.
Love you too.
So stay fearless. Space Jesus.
Space Buddha.
Space Buddha. All right. Bro. If you have any questions, comments, drop them, leave them, and I'll get back to you ASAP. We're hanging out tonight, so if you need one of us, shout outs, we're right here.
If we don't answer your call, it's because we're hanging out tonight.
Yeah, we'll get back to eating and having a good time. Yeah. 44 people. Here we go. We're on the way out. Close the portal down. Love you so much. Della, Joe, I'll talk to you guys later. Ellen, can't wait to see you. Shout outs to Sons of the Sun. new music coming out from me, KG, and looks like a few others will be joining aboard of that really soon. Peace.